G-Gundam's a little different,
G-Gundam,
but we're not counting that one still.
G-Gundam and Gurren Lagann are a little bit different, but most mech anime are politically oriented versus show.
Hi, boss.
Yellow.
Well, hello there. So yeah, we're talking our top 5.
So,
And by the way, the idea is that we come to some kind of consensus here.
yeah.
Oh.
So, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Lucky Red here, and with a bunch of the boys, we got blue, we got yellow, we got pink, we got magenta. We got the boys here. Enjoy the J-stars in the background because we got something very important to talk about. Who is definitively the Garbage Gang has personally decided who the top 5 best shonen protagonists are. We can't.
Well, we haven't decided yet, but we will. Hopefully.
Yeah. No, that's why we're going to be bitching about it. Now, this will entail only sports, and as we've just clarified to ourselves, will only entail sports and battle-centric shonen anime. This will not include mecha anime, which kind of falls into its own category to a degree. And
we're looking at shows that are growth-centric, like your My Hero, your Dragon Ball, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Once the major themes shift away from it, that's although it might be in the shonen category, that's not what we're going to be talking about.
So would you consider Fullmetal Alchemist to not be a growth one?
No, Full Metal Alchemist does count.
Okay.
I would argue it is because growth is a big theme of it of the show.
I just wasn't sure because the ones that you mentioned, I wasn't sure if you meant growth as in generally becomes gets power upgrades as they go along type.
It doesn't have to
just be that.
Most
they can grow
shows
as a
are
person.
about character growth. Good shonen
cool.
shows are about character growth.
And then bad ones like Bleach are about power growth.
Yeah. I mean, you can have both.
Yeah.
But character growth is going to, at least for me, put you in a better spot.
I'd like to see a show where you only get one, besides a Blood Battle Blockade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you did get one. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I kind of challenged myself that it was a bad idea.
Otherwise, this could get really weird with a lot of outliers where it's yeah, that's technically a shonen show because it's pure demographic, but it's not really what we're talking about. I'm all for technicalities, but I figure we'll get that knocked out of the way real quick.
Cool. Oh, hey, they finally put Arc on sale for me.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Nice.
I might do it. $15.
It's, yeah, that's all you need to
I
spend.
like it weird.
We're on a map that's,
Are you guys all still playing, or?
Yeah, me and Andy are. Jaime was on a little bit ago, and I think, yesterday, Isaac, you hopped on for a couple minutes?
Joe hates me and keeps leaving my map.
Yeah, I hopped on for a bit. Give me a second, grab my food.
What, why do I hate you, Tay?
Because you keep leaving the maps and my monsters behind. I had that dope RG on, what's it called? The one that the last one that I played.
Ugh.
How could
Yeah, because we needed
To clarify,
that
we
one.
still have all that stuff. It's just
Yeah,
saved.
that's there. We just have to transfer, or we just have to.
And now you have your
set some
Island
time.
of Dragons.
Yeah, your Island of Dragons is still there.
But Tammy's gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
the other
totally
80,000 are still there.
I'm totally down with going back to the center just to get Tammy, just so you can have her, because I totally understand why you would need to have a Giga. Totally.
I feel like that was a dig, and you don't feel that way.
Oh no!
entire
If you're looking at my screen right now, that is far from the truth.
But I'll say the entire time you were talking to Joe, it sounded like a mom trying not.
Clearly,
Don't
this is
worry
a
about
very
that.
important.
Really
your
fucking call their
dragon.
kids stupid or
Relax,
something.
you're good.
That's terrible.
It's okay.
That's what it sounded
Fuck,
like.
I'm trying to be like, yeah, man, I totally get it. We'll set some time aside, and then
I know, it's just the way you
Yeah, we're
said
just
it.
telling you
And
what you
you're
said.
You're like, I mean, I get it.
We're just telling you what you actually
you want
said.
this, you know?
Yeah,
what I'm
you're just reading it like I'm an asshole or something. But yeah, we could do that at some point. Just like let me know.
Cool.
So, I think the best way to start this, though, for our discussion of who truly is, should be presenting some characters, and we then up that character, because that character doesn't belong on this fucking list.
Me and you should definitely go first since we have the biggest heads up.
It's true. I have a whole list because I wrote them all down. It was
I had a good amount in my head, but I narrowed it down to, I think, about 5.
I made it a point to include everyone I could theoretically come up with, and then looked up a lot more.
Now, I want to specify. Now, I didn't get a chance to talk much with you about this, but there's 2 criteria I personally am looking at and I feel like should be looked at. It is both the quality of the character, i.e., their character growth, how they influence the characters around them and all that stuff, but also their role as a protagonist. Well, sure.
But you're right.
But also their role as a protagonist and how much the show is affected by them, and more or less how much the show would be different and probably worse if you filled a different character into their role.
So yeah, I won't be looking at that either. I kept it simple.
What did you look at?
Do I like the character? Yes. Are they a good character? Also yes. There you go. There's my criteria.
I mean, to be fair, that first thing is, are they a good character? That was my first criteria.
Yeah. But
are
do
they
I
a good
like
character,
them?
and are they good as the protagonist? Those are my 2 criteria.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all you need.
Protagonist.
So, the first person I'm going to bring up is someone I think could be on the list, but I don't know if I would make him on top 5. Also, though it may be disappointing to some, none of these characters are genetically female. Because shonen battle anime have a certain demographic that they strive for exclusively and ignore every other demographic. So I gotta say, a character that I know quite well, Natsu Dragneel, is of course a very famous and popular shonen protagonist. But I wanted to only bring him up immediately because I wanted to get away with people who I don't think should be on the list at all.
Oh yeah, no, fully agree there. Anyone here want Natsu on the list?
No.
Y'all
No,
big
not
fairy
really.
tale fans?
Like I watched it, but yeah, no, nah.
I think
No.
read...
Broseph, I can tell by your tone that you're actually really want Natsu Dragneel, who you thought was the best character of the show, to be on this
sure.
list. Sure.
I feel like we should go one character at a time.
Yeah, no, I know.
So, on that same note, I'm gonna post Ichigo Kurosaki.
God damn it, Isaac! Why did you
I
have
think
to
I'm
fucking
gonna
attack-
post Inuyasha. Sorry, Tayshawn. I misspoke. I meant Inuyasha the whole time. Ichigo
Yeah.
Oh,
Inuyasha.
that's fair.
Hey,
Real close.
he's top 5 at screaming the name Kagome. So
He is.
Ooh,
He's at
that's
least in
fair.
that.
top 5.
He's at
Top
least
5.
top 5.
I like the idea that he's not actually number 1. That someone actually.
We didn't say he wasn't number 1. We just
don't know.
said he makes that list.
Yeah.
What? I'm
least top
disliking all your vids till you become woke.
By the way, I'm looking forward to how many fan bases.
I
we're
love
gonna
that
piss off with
response
this first
to
round.
us not including Natsu or Inuyasha.
I
So-
feel like that was gonna happen anyway.
Yeah, that's the idea of these.
Yeah, but at least with the other ones, you could argue that some of us will argue for and against. These ones are ones that we're all just gonna universally boot stomp.
So Inuyasha, I actually like him to a degree, probably more so than like a handful of other characters we'll bring up. He's nowhere near the top 5 though, like at all. He's nowhere near
The
there.
thing with Inuyasha is Inuyasha, and I've said this about the show, I will say this about the character. If Inuyasha, the show, was 25 to 50 episodes long, this wouldn't be a discussion. He just probably wouldn't get brought up. He's a completely fine character. The problem is that the combined total of Inuyasha and the final act is about 200 episodes, and he has little to no character growth outside the first 10 or 20.
Dude, he's really angry all the time though.
Yeah, that doesn't
He's
change.
like super tsundere though.
Top 5
Baka.
angry.
Trying to think who else. Well, then I guess next we can whoever wants to put in for their next.
We're just going at this point. We're just going down who's in the chat in what order. So Tayshawn
I
would
have
be
like
next.
one so far.
You have one so far.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
then
request that we
Yeah.
don't include Deku.
That we don't or do?
Don't. For kind
you're
of the
gonna,
opposite
you're
reason.
gonna make me throw
of,
hands.
You gotta explain.
I'll actually fight
for
you.
kind of for kind of the opposite reason of Inuyasha, mostly because I feel like we all will just agree, oh yeah, Deku's like really high up or number one. I feel like it's a boring conversation. There's not going to really be any discussion there.
Wrong. That's one of the reasons this is going to be a fight because I think he's top 10. I don't think he's top 5.
I disagree still. I still think.
But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Damn. I think starting with everyone submitting people to just not be included is a good way to start. Oh man, you want Deku out? That you're hurting me, man.
Let's see.
But I think everyone should have a right to just pick one character to just not be included. And if your pick is Deku, then I will allow it.
It is.
Though. All right.
No, that's like half the fun of this list was going to be that fight.
Fine. It won't be Deku. Come back to me and I'll figure someone else out who can.
What about Ichigo?
I'm not excluding Ichigo.
Interesting.
You know what? Come back to me.
Come back to you? Okay.
All right.
Come back.
Joe,
You know-
you're next on the list.
Yeah, let's hear you,
Dude,
Broseph.
I have zero anything prepared. Jesus.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tripped on my
we'll go-
own tongue. Awesome.
He would go with Bakugo. I'm sorry, Bakugo can't be on the list. He is not a protagonist. I think
it's not a protagonist.
that's also an important differentiation that we gotta include is that the people who qualify must
As
be
much as
actually
Bruno
the
Bucciarati is effectively the main character of Golden Wind.
he is not
technically,
the
so he can't be on this
protagonist. That's another thing.
though-
Like
I honestly, I'd probably say that Giorno probably shouldn't be on the list anyway.
Giorno.
Yeah, he wasn't really that good
Yeah.
of a protagonist.
Okay, there's only
in general.
one JoJo character that should be on this list, and I'll bring them up.
Well, in terms, that's what that is
Wait,
what
you
I'm
think
saying.
Joe Bro or JoJo?
JoJo. Because remember,
I
this
think
is protagonist. That means the Joe Bro no Joe Bros can be on the list. Also, no characters that could technically count as a protagonist in the show. They must actually be the protagonist.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no Neville Longbottom shit here.
I don't know what you mean. Neville was the protagonist.
Nani?
I love Neville Longbottom and the Sorcerer's Stone.
yeah, you like the kid who just
Character
kind of
development.
bitches the whole movie.
Yeah. Actually,
Kind of
vacation curse.
cries. He kind of cries.
Yeah, but
doesn't
then he
really
tells
care.
you guys you can't do the fun, interesting things in the movie. You have to do the
He
boring,
tells that to
nothing
people
thing.
once in the whole movie.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and that's all he
that
does.
is not a discussion we need to have right
No,
now.
no,
He
no,
gets
no, no, we're
fucking
talking about
murked
protagonists.
because of
yeah, he does.
Oh,
Give a fuck.
Jesus.
Anyway, so Broseph, you say Giorno of the Jojes is excluded.
For sure.
Okay.
That's not even like worth an argument. That's
He's saying I'm also talking about the porn version. I don't know who's in the porn versions,
whoa.
so I can't speak on the validity of those protagonists.
So we come down to you, Mike.
So, I haven't watched a ton of shonen anime, so this is hard for me to even like kind of because I feel like I don't have a good frame of reference for a lot of these.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But we'll be talking about a lot of common ones, so later on that shouldn't
True.
be a problem.
I will
I mean,
say
to be fair-
Naruto's always annoyed the shit out of me. So maybe
Yeah.
him.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Naruto, like his series, is a very up and down character.
So then he submits that Neredir cannot, in fact, make the top 5.
Oh, sad day.
So that comes to you, Tayshawn.
Yeah, you're back up.
You know what? I'm gonna go with. Not that I think anyone but me would have brought him up anyway, but I'm gonna go with Ganta. From
Who?
Dead Man Wonderland.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
totally
I
I forgot about that show.
Same.
So that's fair.
Not really that memorable. I mean, it's just
I mean, I remember it, but I don't remember him, so that doesn't say a lot.
yeah.
At least the show was so aggressively edgy that it sticks in my brain. But
I didn't even
Yeah,
have
nothing
him
to
on
report.
my list because I did not even think about him.
I actually, true story. I used to read the manga before it became an anime.
Not surprising.
That's
That's
one
how
of the
that's how I
weird
checked
ones
out
that
Bleach.
grabbed me.
I actually read the manga before the
True.
anime came out. I was a Bleach fan before that.
same, actually.
I don't remember if
Yeah,
I was,
me
if
too. I also did that.
I can't remember if
No, I take
it
it
was
back. No,
manga or anime
I-
first, actually.
I was big on the subs before the anime came out in America. I didn't read the manga. Not that bad.
I didn't. That did not happen to me.
I feel
I
like
jumped
I
on
might
that
have read the manga
bandwagon
first, but I just
earlier.
can't remember.
But not like manga early.
hmm
I jumped on it when people were all hype about this new show, Bleach. Check out the wacky fan subs on Ichan.
Okay.
You need to never say
Baka.
that again.
Dude, fan subs were a
Oh,
different
Ichan.
time and place, dude.
Oh, I
they
remember
still
fans.
exist. They're still there, man.
I know.
They've gone
But
nowhere.
they're very uncommon.
Guys, I gotta leave this
Comparatively.
chat for a little bit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Has
All
just
right.
come up.
We'll come back
That's
to you.
because he brought up fan
Okay.
subs. That's what it was.
It was.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
It's
Good
okay.
luck, Mike.
Thanks.
All right. So now we have. We're down to actual.
I really got into
participants.
Tide Pods, but not really a Bleach fan myself. It's pretty good.
All
right.
So
So those are
Lucky
who we
Rip.
definitely can't include in the top 5. So, I guess we definitely start with our presenting the first person that we submit for possible number 5.
side note before we get started,
Yes.
Broseph, you should definitely change your online tag to Mighty Magenta.
To what?
Just thought of it. Mighty Magenta.
Mighty Magenta.
Mighty Magenta.
Should definitely be
Oh,
that.
instead of my usual tag, which is blasphemy.
I mean, yeah.
Or-
Well, in the context of the color-based names.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Zach.
I vote Mike Lewis either Perky Pink or Putrid Pink.
I think he would appreciate both.
I do too. So I say someone who should make the list, maybe not higher than top 5, but should definitely be in the top 5. I present Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star.
Funny enough, I thought about throwing him on mine, but it's kind of one of my low ball arguments.
So Kenshiro is definitely a pro tag of his time. That being the 1970s and 80s.
I was about to say he was 80s.
Yeah, he was. He was entirely in the 80s, but he was a project of the 80s. Literally was inspired, like entirely inspired by Mad Max. And
With
it's
some Bruce Lee thrown in.
yeah, it's literally what if Mad Max starred a jacked Bruce Lee, who's also like a giant white guy.
Well, it's hard to tell with
with the anime,
white
but
version.
and the manga and stuff.
Unless they're Chinese, because the Japanese are a little bit on the racist side to the Chinese.
Yes, still are. So.
Oh, I said they are, not they were.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So I say that Kenshiro is a simple character. He's just a normal dude who's just trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic, literally Mad Max post-apocalypse. The thing about him, though, I'd say his only real negative is that he is aggressively simple. There's like nothing else to him. He's just a guy who's also an allegory for Jesus.
That's kind of my big. That's the reason I didn't consider him, is because he's a good protagonist. He's not a good character. He's got
He,
next
dude,
to no personality. He's great for the show, but there's not a whole lot
I mean,
interesting
his
about him.
personality is he's a good guy.
He's stoic. He is stoic. That is his whole character. He is stoic. Like him and Jotaro, peas in a pod.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Strong, silent.
Although I would
type.
actually argue, at least in subsequent parts, Jotaro has more personality.
Also, Jotaro's more of a punk, and Kenshiro's just a good guy, and that's about it.
I mean, that's fair, but
So he's
that
more
just
like
kind of means
Jonathan.
that Jotaro's got a little bit more going on.
Yeah, he's more like Jonathan. Which is why also I love Jonathan.
Oh. Well, do we have any more to say on him?
He's got the coolest moves. He's overpowered as shit, but he looks dope as fuck, and that's about it. He just looks really cool.
I do miss having overpowered protagonists once in a while. Like we got Saitama and we got Mob.
Yeah.
Like just the, cool ass, big strong man character. I kind of miss having them as a protag. But they're very difficult to write for that reason.
Yup.
So I understand why they're less common. How about you two? Tay and Joe?
Still looking through my shonen lists and trying to.
No,
pick
I meant
this-
like on Kenshiro.
Oh, Kenshiro.
Yeah.
I've never watched Fist of the North Star. My only exposure to him are memes, series breakdowns, and jump games. Which, to be fair, I have a pretty good understanding of.
I say that's pretty much it. Actually, he's still pretty much that character.
From
Yeah.
the little I've seen of Fist of the North Star, yeah, you're not missing a whole lot outside of that.
I mean, I do like how later on in the series he tries to not kill people as much.
Yeah, I mean, he still does, but you're right. He does it less.
Oh yeah, no, he at least gives them like a hey, you could not do this, and like you don't have to die.
Yeah.
He
And
seems
then
like
he
a really nice
cures
guy
a
from the
woman's
demo
blindness.
Yeah,
the
you could
video
do
game I
that.
played.
He also
and-
punches someone until they tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I
and-
mean, a lot of people can do that too. But,
and
you know.
cures
Oh, I
his
was gonna say that's something anyone can do.
He
makes
has
him
a higher effectiveness rate, though.
Yeah,
makes a mute
yeah,
girl
his
talk.
fists- yeah,
like
By punching her in the throat.
no, he doesn't do that.
I didn't care for.
He just kind of like jabs her temples, just
Yeah.
like very lightly. She's like a little girl.
Yeah.
She's completely innocent.
So he
like that's-
punches her upside the head.
he doesn't violently
He
attack
just-
her
he
in
just-
any way.
grabs
Yeah,
her
I
by
know,
the
I'm
scruff of the
joking.
neck and then just backhands and just says "talk fool" and
Talk
she starts
fool.
I can't imagine Kenshiro saying that much in one go, even.
No.
So, omae no sumio, Kazuo. So
Mamu Shindaru.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the later, or I think it's like the second series that they tried to have as a spinoff. That was just trash.
yeah, that was the one they tried to have star the other dude, like the secondary main character.
Yeah.
And
boy.
unfortunately, he's way more boring than Kenshiro.
Yeah.
He can
They're
he
just
can
like, hey.
scratch people into pieces though, so that's kind of cool.
Oh
I
no,
guess.
this is like way after that shit.
Oh,
Yeah, like after the what's it? The Rao arc. They tried having some stuff happen after that called Fist of the North Star 2. And
Oh.
that was just terrible.
that doesn't surprise me. It's hard
Oh,
to
God.
continue
Yeah,
an
I actually like the
80s series
scratching.
like that.
Yeah, no, they should have just ended it after the Rao, and that's it.
Yeah, your options are introduce new bad guy or stop.
Should have.
Or if you're Inuyasha, you just reveal that it wasn't actually the big bad after all.
Yeah, you pull a
The
Doctor
princess is in
Doom.
another
It was
top-
just a robot. It was just a Doombot the whole time. The real one's still
Wait,
out
what?
there.
It was just fucking.
Oh, in
it
Inuyasha,
was
every
all
time
a
they
dream.
defeat the bad guy, it's not actually the bad guy. It was a clone or an alt version of the bad guy.
Or
The
someone
real
pretending
bad.
to be the bad guy.
Or someone
Yeah.
pretending to be the bad guy. So they went with the
That's
comic book
so
route,
stupid.
but it doesn't really work in manga.
No.
So,
That's
I guess then it's my turn.
Yeah.
This one might be a bit of a stretch, but since this is a Shonen Jump property, not really. And that's Vash the Stampede.
It's not a Shonen Jump property, but
No, sorry, it's a Shonen magazine property though.
Yeah, different magazine. Not Shonen. Yeah,
Yeah,
not a
sorry.
Shonen Jump magazine, but close enough.
But another
Well,
Shonen
okay,
magazine.
can we just say best like action protag? Does it have to be a shonen specific?
No, I guess it can be just action. Either way, Vash the Stampede was one I actually planned to
Well,
include, but I
The
didn't think he
reason
really
I
counted.
argued for specifically Shonen is because again there is kind of a common theme between sports and battle Shonen
Yeah.
that make it much easier to compare them to one another without ending up with the apples and oranges argument.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like
Why?
that it would be a lot
That's why
easier if
Yu-Gi-Oh
you just
counts.
do any like battle
Oh, yeah.
or
And Pokemon and Digimon.
Yeah, all true.
instead of
Um,
just the shonen.
so what is
I
your?
couldn't hear a word you said. You just kind of mumbled it.
What?
We're talking about you,
You were
Tayshawn.
really
We
quiet,
can't
I
hear you.
couldn't
You're very quiet.
Oh, my bad. I said I don't know. I just feel like it would be a lot more fun and easier for at least for me to come up with
Okay.
ideas if it wasn't limited to just shonen and we could just do battle and sports.
I would.
Like
I want to
anime.
point out that almost everything you think of is actually Shonen to some degree. I just wanted to focus on battle Shonen and sports because again, that's actually just the theme of the argument.
But if it falls into that, we'll make exceptions for sure.
Yeah, I suppose we could make exceptions on depending.
Yeah.
'Cause
Anyway,
99% of the time, you throw a dart, it's gonna hit Shonen.
pick
Shows
guts.
you wouldn't expect to be Shonen are actually Shonen. I found this out
My-
painfully recently.
My pick is guts for from Berserk is lower top 10. That's fair. Guts is
That
dope.
is actually just not Shonen.
Hey, he's still dope. And
I mean, he's still
And it's
dope, but
battle.
that's
it's
That's
in Shonen
seinen.
Jump.
is it?
Yes.
It
It's
is
just-
the
he's
most
a-
famous seinen manga of all time, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's not even like the same genre; it's a different demographic.
Yeah.
Now I gotta look that up.
But while you're looking that up, what is your argument of why Vash the Stampede should make the list?
Damn it. Because he's a very good character that touts the usual peace and love kind of motif of all of these characters, but
Peace
he's
and love.
a really good example of trying to combat trauma and what's the word? Confront your past. Now, he's kind of one of the ones I have kind of a weaker argument for because I have not watched Trigun in years. So, my argument is about that.
Well, then I do have to argue with you then. Because I argue he should actually be higher, therefore making your placement for him incorrect.
I mean, I didn't realize we were arguing for 5th place specifically.
I mean, not really, but I still say...
I was arguing for being in the top 5.
Gotcha.
Not really, but the moral of the story is you're wrong.
Yeah. Vash the Stampede is one of my favorite anime characters of all time. In fact, when I have in fact drawn Garbage Red before, and he's literally just Vash with a suit instead of a coat, which I realized much later.
Yeah, no, this is not... Berserker is not Shonen Jump.
Oh,
It's published by Hakusensha in Japan and Dark Horse in America.
I knew Dark Horse. Same with
And
Trigon.
it is
Trigon's also
specifically
Dark Horse.
seinen. Sorry. But yeah, no. I think Vash should be top 5. I wouldn't be heartbroken if he's not, but that's because I have not watched the show in a while, and it will be very hard for me to come up with a strong argument for him.
By you, Broseph. I know how much you hate the Western genre.
What?
It's true. This is like a widely recorded fact.
Apparently, I hate the West.
Yeah, that's why you hate Jotaro.
Yeah.
Nah.
He's based off Clint Eastwood, who's a Western actor.
Is he
And
really?
also Western.
That's
mean,
wait, Jotaro is based on Clint Eastwood.
You're talking about Jotaro Kujo.
Yeah, actually, he is based on Clint Eastwood.
That's
fucking
really
crazy.
weird. He looks nothing like Clint Eastwood.
But his signature pose is based off
A few of his movies.
Oh,
Dirty Harry holding the gun.
yeah.
yeah,
that makes
yeah.
sense.
That's pretty cool.
And he liked the more cool, not Horikoshi.
Yeah, no,
Araki.
no. It's widely known that Clint Eastwood was a big Horikoshi fan.
Yeah.
You know, the creator of My Hero.
Also, the best part of that story, Clint Eastwood knows.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Does he care or does he upset about
He
it?
thinks it's pretty cool, from what I know. I mean, I don't think he super cares, but I think he thinks it's cool.
Oh, so yeah, he doesn't seem like a guy who'd give a shit that much.
I mean, it's hard to say. Guy in another country bases a really popular comic book off. Yeah, you might be pretty happy about that, even if it's not like a life-changing experience.
Yeah. He already had like 12 star-making roles, so whatever.
Oh,
I'll be right back.
yeah. What you got for us, Joseph?
Just looking into. Let's see. Throwing it out there, Senyu
Senyu? Who's Senyu?
from the series Senyu, a short anime series that.
Oh my god, is that the mini comedy series that's like
Yes.
each episode's like 4 minutes? I love that
Yes.
show so fucking much.
Send you?
Yeah, it's so great.
Oh, yeah. I
So
remember.
I'm
doing
looking.
that.
I'm looking through a list that I can work with. There's so many animes that are just like, yeah, we're going to show you all these different seasons of like the same. Fucking
Yeah, I ran
30
into a lot of
shows.
those
I'm
when
just
trying
like,
to look
oh
up
my
some.
God.
What, you didn't mean
Like, yeah, we
Naruto Shippuden Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon
Yeah,
Ball
I'm trying
GT?
I'm trying to work around that. I'm just like, I really don't want to list
Don't
these
forget
off,
Heroes.
honestly. Yeah. Just
So the golden
fucking
arc
walking
for
around
guys
it.
in manga is the only shonen arc in the series, so he do count.
he do.
He's saying Guts does count because one of his arcs is actually a shonen arc.
That's probably why people liked. What was it? People bitching about post Golden Age, or
I don't know. People bitch about the current age, but that's just because the manga never
Yeah.
continues ever, and the anime adaptions every time has been awful.
Well,
usually,
the Berserk original anime was great, aside from it just stopped.
yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually a bad adaptation, it just stopped.
Also, I think I had a lot of production issues.
I mean, I'm sure, but as it goes, it's like production values were fine, not like Berserk 2016.
That looks awful.
Yeah.
Sorry. Also trying to look towards anime pro tags that I actually like, and yeah, I'm already like 500 goddamn shows through, and I'm just like, god damn it.
Yeah, it's a bit rough.
I mean, yeah, I like a good number of these, but we're talking like lower, like the top 10, not top 5.
Yeah, these are the best ever. In
Yeah.
your personal opinion, of course.
Yeah. See, that is why Senyu makes my top 10.
On a similar,
He's just an
Well,
asshole.
of course it's Ross, but you were saying the pro tags.
Yeah,
so,
no, yeah.
as an
course,
honorable
Ross.
mention,
Yeah.
I want to talk about Emma from the Promised Neverland. I would actually nominate if I had seen more of her show.
Yeah, that is a pretty good one.
Or read the manga.
That's the thing. I refuse to read the manga.
That's
I
fair.
like the anime a lot, and I don't want to read the manga.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to get more information.
I also hate
I
supporting
would put her
creators.
on, but she does a good amount in the first season. I want to see more from her before I state whether or not I feel like she's like a top 5 protagonist. But I do want to point out, I think she is good. So I guess we're on Tayshaun then, or were you backtracking?
He didn't defend his pick of Senyu.
Nobody said bad about Senyu, although you can, and I won't fight you on it.
I don't know enough about the show. I can't have an opinion.
I'm completely caught up, and I'm so disappointed we're never going to get that 3rd season.
I know. I'm pissed too, but you know what?
I'll
That's
say
fine.
that would make my like top 10 anime comedies of all time. It would not. He's not my favorite main character though.
No, no.
Like he's
not the
totally fine. Like he's
show?
Senyu. It was a short mini anime mini series where each episode was only 7 minutes long.
Oh
yeah, they were like 3 minutes.
It wasn't long. You could knock out the whole series in like maybe an hour.
Yeah, I think it's an hour or two. But the whole show is very funny. Ross is the best. He's literally a parody of Cloud. He has a big ass robot arm and like a badass big buster sword, but he's a huge dickhead to everybody else.
Mostly the main character.
Yeah. He absolutely despises the guy he works for, who is the main character. But I'll say Senyu himself. He's like fine. He gets accused of being a child molester though, which is unfortunate for him. Because he fights the demon lord, who also is a small child, like a little girl. And they accuse him of sexually assaulting her because she screams and the cop captures him. This is also a fantasy setting, but he goes to an actual like modern prison.
Yeah.
and
It's a great show.
Oh
my God.
Want to watch this show.
Yeah, no, you should absolutely watch it. Isaac, you would love this show, but
they fuck with the intro every time they go through it too. It's great.
Yeah. Also, my favorite. Actually, now that I think about it, my favorite character, there is a ninja in the show who's this assassin who has a special wind technique where he spins his arms up and down like a wheel, and because he says it multiplies his arms to have 3 arms, but it's just him spinning his arm around over and over again. It's great. I love that show. It's so funny. I'm still like devastated. Like I remember going to a convention and going to the Crunchyroll booth and then promoting that show when it was coming out. It was really fun, but I wouldn't include him as best shonen protagonist. Though I appreciate someone else has watched the show.
It's called Senyu, and the character's name is Senyu?
Yeah,
Yes.
Senyuu. Senyu.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw out for my pick.
Yep.
The Jizza, the original bad
The
boy
RZA.
himself.
Yeah.
The original bad boy himself. I don't think he has a last name. Ong.
Oh,
Or
you're
as my American homies know him. And
gonna include Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
yeah, 100%.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'll allow it. That's pretty much as shonen as you can really get.
Yeah, no, he's actually. I didn't think about him because there's that whole weird it's anime but it's not anime kind of argument.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong opinion on it one way or the other, but I would
I love
argue
the show.
more in favor of it is anime.
Oh yeah, the
but-
show is amazing.
Oh, that's not even a question.
But I just don't know if I'd include Aang as top 5 of all time. Is the thing. Like I like the
I would
show a
argue in
lot, but
favor
Aang
of.
Aang is just not my favorite character in it. Even like I like him, he's a good character.
But that's kind of the problem with a lot of shonen protagonists. A lot of the guys I'm going to argue for are not my favorite characters in the show. It is whether or not they're good by comparison to other protagonists.
Yeah.
How
so
often is the protagonist actually your favorite character, though, honestly?
for me, my 5 options, which is why I picked them.
That's fair. I think
That's why my
I can only
picks are
think of-
very niche, with 2 exceptions.
Well, Vash, I argue, is my favorite character from that show, but that's because I don't remember a lot of the supporting cast.
Oh man,
Oh,
Nicholas D.
Wolfwood,
Wolfwood
my
is
dude.
so fucking
Everyone
cool.
argues Wolfwood.
was.
I'm
'Cause he's
sure it's just been a
great.
long while. I'm not
Big
here to
old
argue whether or
gun.
not Wolfwood's good or bad.
But Vash the Stampede
Spoiler
is like,
alert,
absolutely
as
fantastic.
Kanye would say, beautiful death.
Yeah, I also
Oh.
agree. Well then,
And I have one or two more on the list that might be my favorite from the show.
no, I'm gonna put a mark near these for ones that we haven't like said no to, but we've said are like maybes. Kasenyu, we pretty much said nah, but like it's a really good show. Everyone should check that show out. But he's not best top 5 material.
Hell
No.
no.
A lot of the shows
Like I
we're going to
said.
be talking about are great shows.
Yeah.
That's like
well,
the
no,
first
no.
thing we
The
need to
only
establish.
reason,
These shows are all
I
great.
point out that is so more people will go watch it. That's the only reason I bring
On
that
top
up.
of that, I guess my only argument against Senyu would just be like, doesn't really seem that it's either a sports or really a battle shonen. Just a comedy.
It's a
Which is-
comedy. Shonens are also comedies. Also,
which
there
why
is
I felt
action
the need
in
to
it.
specify
It's also
battle
action
shonen
in
and
it, so it's
sports
fine.
shonen.
There's action in it. It's fine.
That does not make it a battle manga, but sure.
It doesn't matter.
Or battle
It doesn't.
anime.
I don't know if it has a manga. That's a good question.
I think it was
But
a webcomic.
Aang, I will. Was it really? That might actually be accurate. Aang, I will also put in the
It's caught up
maybes.
to it.
Yeah, I figured that part.
Yeah. Aang, I feel like is a very strong argument because Aang is also a very good character. He has
Yeah.
his morals and his ideals constantly.
And he grows as a
Question.
person by the end.
Yeah, he grows as a person, but he also stays true to his morals and ideals.
Which makes for a great show because of spectacular
And although
writing,
not-
especially character writing.
Not on his own merit. A lot of this is owed to a lot of the supporting cast, but he does help make people better along the way. Like he helps improve the other characters as well as himself.
Iyoto Totome, Lucky Man. How do you know who Lucky Man is, Ramen Rider? I'm actually curious how you know who that character is. The only person I've ever
Show
heard of
stars.
who knows who he is.
Some of
He
them-
looks like
70%
me.
side,
That's
but you
whole.
think
Get
they
out of
would
here.
work.
Nah, you know what? You're banned. Get banned. Get fucked.
You know, Zach,
What?
you need to remember that. Some of
What?
us have a wider range of interests than you think we would, which is exactly why I know that the game with the best netcode ever.
Yeah, you're right about that, but I still say, why the fuck do you know that? You definitely have never played, like, you've definitely played the game before. I'm sure of that. But I could guarantee you just saw that shit online that it has bad netcode, because I do not expect that you went actively online and played with its bad netcode, which I have before, and it's not worth your time, because you'd rather kill yourself.
Like I said,
It's terrible.
the best.
Bye, Isaac. That's how furious Isaac was. Absolutely. Isaac deserves to be that angry.
Hold on, Keyshawn's still loading in.
Fine, no, I haven't. Oh, he hasn't seen Lucky Man. He just saw the character's design and made fun of me. Said I looked like him.
No one's actually.
Bro, we
seen that.
actually haven't met before. How would you even know that? Now that I think about it, I realize that.
He has
Facebook.
us on Facebook.
Bro, playing games over here. Yeah, no, he could see me on Facebook. That's true.
So yeah,
So then, I guess I'm next to present. And hold on, I forgot to write Vash down. Put him in the maybes as well.
Just sending you some there, Tay, and a little side thing I'm working on.
He said he's been camping in your backyard. That's how I knew. Damn, I should have known.
there's a lot of trees back there. You could definitely miss them.
Yeah.
He's right.
Get a camouflage tent, put some.
Yeah.
So I present character that I feel like had to make this list as well.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Freaking, we gotta bring up
Hard at
Gintoki
work.
Sakata, the main character of Gintama.
That's a really weird one, but because by my own criteria, I wasn't counting comedy, but like it turns into a typical shonen battle anime like halfway through every season. So like,
Yeah, so hot. Counts
just
even
do
more
it.
so than.
you could argue he's more shonen because he's two genres at
Yeah,
the same
man.
time.
Yeah. Now
Hell,
that is
he's
character development.
yeah, it is. Hell, he's even been a sports anime character before.
He's the most.
So
shonen.
he makes it there.
He
He's
is the shonen.
shonen.
He is the greatest showman. Shonen.
Showman. No, you're right. He's the
yeah,
greatest
yeah.
showman.
Just with no W, it's just showman. So
Jesus.
so Gintoki Sakata, as I've said before on stream, he is somehow both the worst character and the best character in his own show. The reason I say worst is because he is written spectacularly. The thing that makes him the worst is he's a terrible person.
I mean, that's fair.
There's literally nothing redeeming about him. He's just a bad person. He's got a heart.
He's got episodes where he's a good person.
That's true. He has a few episodes where he does something good of some kind. He's got a heart in there somewhere, but he'd rather cheat you out of his money, and be lazy, eat ice cream, and of course watch anime. Well, sorry, not watch anime. Read Shonen Jump manga, which is his favorite pastime. He also screams at his coworkers of odd jobs all the time, and my favorite thing to point out about him is the reason he's such a dick is he switches minds with the police
Be right
chief.
back. You're cutting out like crazy on my end.
Okay.
Gonna try the internet again.
Okay. Gintoki Sakata literally gets his mind swapped with the vice police chief. And after that, the vice police chief in Gintoki's body pays his coworkers and gives them essentially just talks with them about what they do at odd jobs and everything. Both of his coworkers then immediately realize that it's not him, and they like this version better, so they don't care. They instantly know he would never ever pay them, and he hasn't in the past 7 years of them working with him. So the minute he has paid a paycheck, they said they wanted this Gintoki more, so they decided to side with him and against the police chief. So that's how bad he's just a bad person. And
Wow.
it's great. It is a hilarious show, and Gintoki Sakata is the best in it.
Yeah, it's really hard to argue against Gintoki. Like, I don't really have any complaints about him being on the list.
He's also such a great fit for the Garbage Gang. Heart of gold, but just a huge asshole.
Yeah, that's fair. A nice person, but not necessarily a good one.
Yeah.
Or even a nice one, most of the
Yeah,
time.
or mostly not a nice one either. So Isaac,
But
who's
he's
your?
not evil.
No, he's not evil. Nowhere near evil. He definitely fights for justice and what have you, but he'd rather get paid for it.
BRB.
Okay.
Who should be next on my list? Well, there can only really be one. It's the best Joestar, Joseph Joestar.
He is like the best Joestar.
Yeah.
And two reasons. One, he is a fantastic character who does develop over the course of battle tendencies.
Hell yeah. That's right. Tony joins the chat, and he's right. He drinks strawberry milk like a real man. That's right. Gintoki Sakata definitely
Now,
drinks.
I'll interrupt your character ones with the chat.
I know. I was reading the chat. Yeah, because you can't see it. So go ahead, Isaac.
So, one, he's best Joestar almost undeniably. Like, most out of the anime Joestars.
Yeah.
I will not comment on the three that are not animated yet. He does develop to appreciate his friends and his ancestry more over time. has a greater respect for his heritage. He does influence and better the people around him, and he takes the debatably mediocre plot of Battle Tendencies and makes it a hell of a lot better.
I debate that it's even mediocre, but yeah, I agree.
Like, he takes the mediocre story and makes it arguably pretty good.
Yeah.
He is an exemplary protagonist. He betters the series by his very presence in it. He's not even too bad as Old Man Joseph, where he's almost an entirely different character.
Well, Broseph, do you have any arguments? Because you're definitely the biggest, the other biggest Joge fan. Same with you, Tay. I know you're a big Joge as well. Oh yeah, he went away for a second.
He stepped away, but no,
But
I
know you're
the fact that Joseph is relevant throughout a good portion of the series is pretty great. I mean,
one of the few.
Hell,
one of the two. Another one is Jotaro.
Right. Yeah, and I mean he's got all that character development and all that.
I mean, Jotaro's got a fair bit of character development. It just doesn't happen in Stardust Crusaders. It happens
everywhere else.
It's when he's not a main character is when he has character development, and that's
Jotaro as a supporting character is actually pretty good. It's just as a main character, he's not very good.
Yeah, it's
because he's partying with like
four
other
Tony
dudes.
Says sorry, Isaac. By the way, he's so sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm giving Zach shit, not the chat.
He also said, I agree that Joseph is my favorite JoJo because he is shit. Based on my placement, it's always so hard to read those. Give me 1 second. Oh, never mind. He is unique role throughout the series. It's pretty much him being a player and trying to fix his own problems.
On top of that, by the framing of his own story, he is the biggest underdog in the series.
Yeah.
He is outclassed. At least you could argue, there's a whole argument about Jonathan not being as strong as Joseph. But Jonathan was more or less equally matched with Dio. Jotaro was definitely not equally matched with Dio. But he was at least in the same ballpark.
And he eventually would
and
become
same could be said for pretty much all the other villains and heroes. Save for, later on ones.
Yeah.
But Joseph is outclassed constantly. He's never on the same footing.
Based
he
entirely
wins because
on
he's a
pure
clever,
dumb luck.
devious asshole and pure dumb luck. Which somehow pure dumb luck is not the stupidest way a JoJo series has ended.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. The very lucky volcanic eruption is not the dumbest way a JoJo series has ended.
It's a dumb way, but not even a terrible way based on the framing of the show.
Or even its peers with pretty much every other part, save for maybe part 3. Part 3 does have the best climax.
I don't know. Jonathan, part 1 has a pretty great finish.
Yeah.
That shot in the boat, like that shot
bullshit
is great.
Out of all of them.
Hey, he's right. Tony's right. Luck and pluck, bro. You didn't factor in the sword of luck and pluck, bro.
That's fair.
I never got that. I still don't understand why he writes.
You don't have to.
But I don't get it. Why? I don't understand.
It was left behind, just like the fucking clacker balls, man. They're just
clacker balls. Yeah, how he uses it once.
Yeah, he uses it once, and then even
at least Jonathan
brings it up. He's like, "Hey, why don't you use this?"
Yeah, that's
true. At least
true.
Jonathan uses the sword well.
Right.
Although the clacker balls actually have a point to them, which is literally it's Joseph trying to show off, hey, I got a cool Hammond thing too, just like you, Caesar. Check it out, I got these clacker balls. And they were literally just some dumb fucking thing he came up with more or less on the fly.
Yeah.
So there's a reason that got left behind, because it wasn't a good idea in the first place.
Hey, good man.
Oh, welcome
good
back.
You're back. I can actually have an argument with some of my other characters.
In fact, you came back at the perfect time. How do you feel of Joseph Joestar making the top 5?
That's a tough one because I'm biased because I fucking love that show and he's my favorite. I would say out of the Joestars, He would be a top 5 protagonist. To
Oh
me.
yeah, he's the only one
Definitely.
so far.
Yeah, he's the only one we've brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I
I love
was
Jonathan
almost,
though. I really
yeah,
do.
I was about to say
Yeah.
the
Jonathan's a good
3
boy.
out of the anime.
I
the
mean,
3
in
that I
fairness,
think
there's only
that you could
one
make an
Joestar
argument
of the
for
anime, and actually of all the mangas
top
I've read that I
protagonists
don't
are
like.
Jonathan,
It's
Joseph,
Giorno.
and Jotaro. As much
Yeah.
as
I
love
like Jonathan,
Josuke,
Joseph, Jotaro,
he's just not so much the
Josuke,
focus
and
of his
Jolie.
own arc.
I like them
Yeah.
all quite a lot.
And
That's also fair.
Yeah.
I like Giorno.
It's
I'm one of the
only
few,
Giorno, and that's
but
because he just
is
doesn't do
Isaac,
anything.
can you
kind
hear
of
Michael?
he doesn't. He's not very energetic.
No.
We'll say.
Hell, I even
But,
liked I liked
He cut
Josuke
out
for
a
that
second
whole
to answer your question.
What?
My internet's acting up, so you cut out for a short bit.
Okay.
So if I was talking,
I
over
was
you,
wondering why
sorry.
you kept talking over him.
Oh, was I talking over him?
No,
No, no.
Isaac was. I'm talking over you.
Oh.
It's fine.
Oh, I didn't even hear him.
Yeah, I didn't
Nor
think
did
so
I.
because you guys did nothing about it, so I figured that was the case.
Oh, I
So-
can't hear Michael now.
It's
Man.
like I said, it's difficult because in my heart he's top 5.
Then he's
But
then he's top 5.
yeah, okay.
Now,
yeah.
to be fair, what we're
Well-
really debating here is contenders.
Yeah, we're
We're
not
going
not
to
saying
our
any
personal
definitive
list.
spots yet.
Then I
Yeah.
think he's definitely a contender. Definitely.
All right, he's also I already listed him on the maybes because pretty much everyone is in agreement that Joseph is definitely a consideration at the bare minimum.
Oh, bare minimum.
Yeah. So now we're up to the Broseph next, right? Or was it Tayshawn?
By the way,
Here's
if I
Tay.
can interject,
Yeah,
who
what's up?
have we discussed?
So the ones we've discussed so far, we've brought up Gintoki Sakata from Gintama,
Alrighty.
Joseph
That girl we should
Joestar,
get
of course.
Okay.
We will
Oh,
get
so
to
we're
him,
over-
Ramen Rider. I won't say him because I know someone's going to bring him up. He does not even need to be mentioned. We're going to talk about it. Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. Vash the Stampede from Trigun. And Aang from
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Sweet. I'm in agreement with all of those. I think those are all good contenders.
Yeah. And we
Who
also
said,
talked
who said
about
Aang?
Tayshawn.
Respect.
Yeah. Hello?
Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
mean to cut you
We
off.
can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
none
yeah.
of these have really been strongly debated at all.
Poor Zach.
That they should be in consideration.
Poor me. What
I'm
did I
sorry
do?
with
I
that
can't
Isaac
hear-
did
Mike keeps
immediately
going
as
in
soon
and
as you
out for me,
started
like I
another
can't hear
conversation
anything he's saying
back
right
up.
Yeah, I know. I can tell, Tay. Everyone keeps telling me that they're all cutting out here and there. I can hear you guys fine,
I hear
so I know the
everyone.
chat. Yeah, so we know what's
Yeah.
happening right now, and
Yeah.
it
Oh
sounds
yeah, I haven't.
great.
I hear
Tayshawn.
everyone. Like,
I'm not hearing Tayshawn. Damn.
okay, yeah.
Damn, I was gonna say that.
What the fuck?
Why did you have to be a dick before I could be?
Okay,
Oh,
is my job
I hear
on
Isaac
this track to
now.
be a dick to
Shit,
Tayshawn?
I should say. Oh,
the hell is that?
someone's playing the stream in the background. I think. I thought it was actually Tayshawn off mic somewhere for a minute.
Hell yeah. Okay, so next is was it Tay or Broseph? I forget the order we had.
Broseph was going before Tay.
So it's Broseph, and then we'll give Michael his chance because he hasn't had a chance to input yet. Got to be quick to the punch, bro, and Echo.
Oh my goodness.
Just in time for the new Overwatch hero.
She's so much fun.
Fuck.
She's hard as fuck though. So yeah, Broseph, who's your next person you'd like to bring up to the table?
I mean, I don't know how many JoJo's we're allowed to bring up.
As
But
many as you want. They just have to be the protagonist. That is the only requirement.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
go for
why
it.
JoJo is the weird exception. Cause like,
They keep changing pro tags, yeah.
yeah. So that's why it's the funny.
Josuke.
So you are gonna bring up Josuke.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring
Well,
him
then
up.
spin your argument.
Let's hear it.
As to why I like him, or just
why you're bringing him up? Like, why do you think he should be on the top
Also,
five?
Tayshawn, if you're talking, I can't hear you at all.
I can't hear him
yeah.
at all either. Actually,
No,
Same.
no. If he was talking, I do not hear him.
I was not talking. I have
Okay,
the
I
stream
figured
running
as
in the background, so I know what the other.
Okay.
So that works. That totally works.
I was getting concerned.
Does it though?
Let's see why I should think he's on the list, or
yeah.
well,
You got to defend why you think he's top 5.
oh, why he's top 5?
Yeah.
I don't know, because Joseph was taken already.
Again, at that point, you just defeated your own
Guys,
argument.
let's do top 5
How many-
JoJo protagonists.
How many top 5? Let's just go through the top 5.
There's only 5 in the anime. That's
I do
all I know.
apologize.
So
There you go.
there you go.
That's
Top
what
5.
We're right, anime only. That's what we're talking.
Though I hear the one from
But,
Steel Ball Run's really good. Also, Jolene seems cute, so I'm ready
Jolene's
for it.
amazing. I actually
Jolene's
like her
not cute.
quite a bit.
Jolene's a boss.
No, I know she's a
But,
tough
no.
bitch, but like I'm into that, so I'm down for it.
I mean,
Sorry, I'm
she's actually
thinking
not
really of
the
argument
tough
points,
bitch
but the only thing I
archetype.
can think of is just like, or all the points I'm thinking of are like, bad guys becoming good guys. The show's tone being from its usual very serious to slice of life.
I do love part 4.
Yeah.
The reason I would not put Josuke up there is because there are whole instances in the
Where
show
He's just
where
not there.
I forget he's the main character.
Yeah.
Dude, he's so cool.
Yeah.
I love Josuke.
I love
Yeah.
Josuke as a
Love
character.
Josuke. He's the best.
I don't think he's a good protagonist.
Only
Not compared
It's
to the
still,
people
it's
we're
still,
talking
he still
about.
was kind of shadowing, like he was kind of shadowing behind Jotaro in that final act.
He was
too.
shadowing behind Koichi.
Yeah, that's the
I
thing.
mean, yeah, Koichi kind of was carrying for a little while.
Like
But-
he's amazing. It's just like they said, it feels like he doesn't get the focus
Yeah.
that the other Joestars get as their
It-
own protagonists.
The thing is, with part 4 is a great ensemble story. And the thing with an ensemble story is there's not really a main character. So although Josuke is supposed to be the main character, the story plays out as though really most everyone's the main character.
Yeah.
But before, so I'll include him as a maybe because I do like him a lot. I don't know if he'll make the final 5, but I will actually include him still anyway.
Respect that deal.
Though before we go into Tay's next pick, Tony has actually brought up a pick he would dare state, which is as he actually put, I dare to put Naruto Uzumaki on the list.
He can't. We took him off the list.
And we specifically said we don't want him on the list. So I'm sorry, Tony. We started our list by proclaiming who we said we would not include, and Naruto was one of them.
Nah, man, I feel like fan interaction overrides that.
What? Oh, fan interaction overrides that? That's fair. You know what? I'll say he could be on the list. He
Well,
doesn't make the list.
He was your pick, Tayshawn, so you have the right to say that.
Yeah. So I'll
that is
allow
true.
it. I will
I will
still
not allow Inuyasha on this list so long as I breathe, though.
but I will still say no. He does not make the top 5 list. You could give me all
Well,
these.
okay, let's talk some pros about him real quick.
Okay.
Because Naruto's got some pros. Let's give this a fair shake.
Okay.
Naruto, as a character, is actually one of the characters who most believably develops over the course of a series to a great degree. A lot of other shonen protagonists don't develop as much as Naruto does while believably staying the same character.
I will agree, even though I put him off the list.
Well, yeah.
Really, it's his, like, when he's a little kid at the beginning that bugs the shit out of me and made me turn the show off. So I don't have very much of an input, but I've always heard he gets a lot better, especially through Shippuden.
Tony also would like to defend that that's a bitch move because he does set out to accomplish what he does while slightly maturing throughout the show.
That's
I
not a
think we just
bitch
said
move.
that.
That's exactly what I said.
No, I know. He was referring to us nixing him initially.
Us next to him.
Oh. Well, the problem
don't like
is
bitch
because
That's why his growth is good.
No, I'm playing.
so much of the show, for so much of the show, especially the original run of Naruto, people's general statement is the show would be better without him. And
So
the problem
I would-
with him is that
I would-
the biggest problem in my mind. I'm sorry, just let me finish this real quick.
Yeah, no, you're good.
his character development stops long before the series does. His character development stops with the Pain arc, which is a great arc. It's a very good arc. His character development stops there, and the Ninja War arc, along with the little mini arcs leading into it, are extremely long, and Naruto
And the
has
3 mini
no
arcs that are in
development.
between it.
I think he does have character development in the movie The Last. I feel like he definitely.
And it's all terrible because it's a horrible movie. I don't know why you'd waste your time watching it.
Anyways, what I was going to say,
I
though,
can't state there.
was I feel like the fact that he is such an annoying child makes him a better character overall. Because one,
Which is why my argument isn't that he's an annoying child, although I did bring that up.
yeah,
my
no, I
argument-
meant because Michael was saying that he, the kid him bothers him.
That being
I was-
said, if your main character is so annoying for the first 100 episodes of your show that it puts people off from watching the show, that is problematic.
And
Whether
that
or not
it's
they
a
develop
common-
strongly from it, that's
and that
problematic.
it's a common complaint. This isn't just
Yeah.
me being the lone like holdout here.
No,
That's
no,
a pretty
it's-
common complaint about Naruto. Is at least
I feel like
the
that's
early- yeah.
a better character. Have you been around 12-year-olds? They're the fucking worst.
Yeah, but that's the
Yeah,
thing.
I also
Accurate or believable
Yeah.
is not necessarily good.
I'm also not watching live streams of 12-year-olds going about their day, Tayshawn.
So
So why do I
You
want to
could
watch
argue-
it? Why do I
I
want
don't know
to
why you
watch
would
the
say like that.
anime
Neither am I.
version?
That Gohan in Dragon Ball.
I don't know why you'd say it like that.
Gohan in Dragon Ball, it makes sense
Oh.
that he got really soft and weak, became a little pansy boy in Buu Saga, because it made sense for his character. That doesn't make it entertaining.
That's
Although I
why
still love
people
Frieza.
fucking hate it, even though it's great, and they're all wrong.
Yeah. Like, but there's a strong argument for it. Yeah, it makes
Someone
sense,
call
but
the
it's not
cops. He
entertaining.
watches 12-year-old videos online.
Call the police.
Yeah, I love that frame. I don't know why you'd say it like that, because I don't do that either, but...
Naruto has a strong
I don't know,
middle
dude.
and end.
We
It's
need
just,
an
unfortunately, his
audit
end
of
is 100
Tayshawn's
episodes
internet
too
history.
early.
I think.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
yeah. You wouldn't want to do that to mine either, so I get it.
I mean, same.
We need an adult. I mean, I am an adult, so it's fine.
All right, so Mike, did you say your character?
No,
No, he is
but
not.
it's gonna be completely obvious to any of my friends that knows me. Edward Elric, always.
That was one of Chris's suggestions that I bring up.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, Chris.
I mean, he's not on my list, but honestly, it's kind of because I had my list before Chris suggested it.
So
Yeah.
let's hear your defense.
Ooh. Okay. So, Ed starts out as a not very annoying 12-year-old.
A little bit, but not too bad.
Yeah, not as
you're,
much.
He can get on you.
He's the edgy atheist.
Is he
He
12 in the
is.
beginning of it?
He's about
He's like 14, I think.
maybe 14. Yeah,
Okay,
14,
I want to clarify.
think.
If we're talking like Bear
No, not the
beginning, he is
intro.
fine.
Not the intro of the
He's
show.
the best 5-year-old.
Saying when the
protagonist.
show actually
of-
starts.
As of him heading out for his state license exam, he is 11.
Oh, that's right.
He does not hit 12 until he gets almost to Central.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, it's Easy Boy and his robot. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
That's how we describe the show now.
Oh, yeah.
That's Easy
His
Boy and the
robot
robot. And his robot. I forgot we decided that's how you
So-
describe Fullmetal Alchemist on stream.
I love that. So, I mean, what can you say about Easy Boy? He, huh? And his
I
robot.
said and his robot.
True.
Well, we can't
First off,
bring up
he's
his
got
robot.
A robot. First off, he
Likes-
has a robot.
He likes to clap
Uh,
his hands.
Mhm.
That's why.
But he's got the tragic
So positive.
backstory, the philosophy, the never giving up attitude. I mean, he's kind of got all when it comes to. The only thing I don't really think he gets when
I
it
feel
comes
like
to
you're describing Naruto
protagonists
right
is
now.
you don't. Shut up. Well,
Shut up. Shut the fuck up. I hate you.
Man, this character's got like a goal. Fucking Naruto
Yeah.
ripoff. God.
right?
God,
Right?
damn.
Just reminds
I
me
just-
when My
I just
Hero
meant
came
the
out and
you
everyone
never
said,
give
"Oh
up
my god,
and the
it's
tragic
Yusuke's just
backstory."
Naruto." Anyway, okay, you
True.
keep going.
One Piece. Jesus.
I'm trying to remember where it was going.
Shonen character. What the fuck?
But I think I guess depending on like how shonen-y you want to be, in a list like this, maybe one of his weaknesses is he doesn't get those big like power-up moments. Although his moments are more revelations about things.
Yeah, him learning about the world. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
But also
a lot.
about
I mean, a lot of
himself.
his strength as a protagonist, I think, is also just strengths of how the story's laid out. Because it is, while it's a shonen, it is laid out a lot differently from what you're.
Yeah, that's why most people
more
forget
like
that
your
it is
Narutos and your
actually just a
Bleaches.
shonen.
Yeah.
Even
So
I
sometimes
forget.
it's so even
I
on
love
this
that.
thing, you know, it could be a little bit of a hard comparison sometimes because he's just so kind of out of the box compared to other ones.
But
And more
his-
so from the story, like I said.
His growth is almost the opposite of every other shonen protagonist, which I think is fantastic. His growth is realizing he's not anyone special.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah.
lessen him as a person, but him being a cool alchemist does not make him special. Like,
You
it
did
doesn't make
that-
him a better person.
Is that what you
than
got from the
everyone.
series? I
You
guess the
summed that
complete
up a lot
opposite.
better.
Uh,
What did you get, Tayshawn? I actually am curious.
Oh, out of which one, Brotherhood or the original?
Brotherhood.
Ooh, you know, see, that's a tough one.
Well,
but
I
yeah.
was talking specifically Brotherhood. I wouldn't argue that the original is not a shonen. That is, yes, it is in the shonen demographic. It comes from a shonen magazine. The entire tone and themes of the story are not shonen.
Well, then may I just point out, if we're talking about the original, then he starts off at 14.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
technically, that's all right. That's fine. He also then spends the next several episodes as
oh, you
11.
get out of here with that. That elitist bullshit right there.
was
So
that?
in the chat, first off, Ramen Rider said, obviously, Easy Boy is not Naruto. Easy Boy is Easy Boy, and the other one is Boy with Headband. As for then Tony said it's more of a world building shonen than a character building one, which is very true. And then
that's
he
more
said
of
the
a
original
staple
sucks,
theme
and I was
of
like, "Nah,
the
man, get out of
guy
here
rather
with that
than
purist
What was
bullshit
that last
right
one?
there."
I missed it.
Sorry, I said that's world building
No,
is much more
Zach.
thematically
No, not what you
in
said, Isaac.
line.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Isaac.
I said the original sucks, and I said, "Man, get out of here with that purist bullshit right
Ooh,
there."
yeah, get out with that shit. They're
No,
both
those are
good
They're both
for different
great
reasons.
for different reasons, exactly.
Yeah.
But the stories
Like-
are about the same throughout.
They are both great, but one is clearly better.
That's debatable.
One if you want to
And
cry,
your
and
opinion
one
is
if you want to cry more.
One if you want to cry,
you
one
wanna
if
cry
you
and
want to
then
just
feel
have a
good later?
shonen anime.
Yeah.
What if you want
There
to
you
cry
go.
and feel good later, and what if you just want to cry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And I like Evangelion, so you know which one I like.
Are we gonna?
cry.
Are we? Oh yeah, mech. I was gonna say, are we gonna argue Shinji for top 5 protagonists?
No, we're not, because no mech anime. Mech anime is a different subgenre. That doesn't count.
I need to know though, Zach. If this was, if we allowed mecha, would you count Shinji?
Yes, actually,
It's
I
not bad.
actually like Shinji as because he is perfect for his story. He would not fit
That
in
is true.
any other mech anime, like at
That
all.
is true. He never
If
actually
you got
really
to any other
graded
mech
on me
anime,
either,
people
but I
would be
know that
beating the
like,
shit
but
out
I
of
know he's got a
weapons.
huge hate them. So I was just curious where you fell.
Yeah, no, I very
just-
much like Shinji and his series.
I saw him as a little whiny creep.
I mean, that's what he. It is kind of what
yeah.
he is,
What
but
made
that's.
him a creep, huh? What, name one thing he did that was creepy.
We don't want to talk about that. What happened?
You sure?
We won't talk about that.
Disgusting.
Rhymes with masturbation.
And hospital bled.
And sleeping
And
teenagers.
unconscious woman.
Yeah, unconscious woman.
And
It rhymes. It sounds like that. It's not that though.
Yeah, totally
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
It
But he
rhymes with
realizes
fin
he's a fucking weirdo and a creep for it,
Yeah.
and is depressed about it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
but
not
I mean,
shonen.
that doesn't change it.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
no,
he is
no,
not
no,
a good
shonen.
person. This is not argued if he's a good person. This is
No,
argued if
no,
he's a
I
good
know.
character, and I think he is. But yes, he is a good character who would fit in no other series, and that's why he's
You
good.
would get the shit beat out of him in any other mech series.
Yeah, they would actually
Yeah,
kick the shit out of him because it's most of the other mech shows are testosterone filled.
Well, aside from Gundam Wing, but he's not a pretty boy enough in that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all the other pretty boys have better problems, so he's just out of his league there.
I don't know. I think he's got some real problems.
He
Not,
does.
not, but like actual problems, not like mental problems.
So up into a wash. Wow, that's
I mean, that came out
this,
wrong.
it's terrible. But anyway, we'll move on from that.
I want to share the sense
Historical
that
problem.
Isaac
Isaac didn't
2020.
realize 2020.
Sorry.
I mean, actual problems. not
External. Let me
Yeah,
re-clarify.
no,
External problems, not internal problems.
Yeah. We got it. It's you're fine, Isaac. So anyway,
Let's cancel
Wow.
Isaac.
yeah, let's cancel the channel right now. So Tay, I think you're next to present a character. Yeah, who's next exactly?
Ed's on the list, though, I assume?
Oh yeah, we never said.
He'll be a maybe. I'm not a big fan of him. I think Full Metal Alchemist is a good show. I'm not a fan of. I think is the best way for me to put it. My feelings about the show. It's a good show that I am not a fan of. But I don't think he's great.
That's okay.
But for now, I'll say he's definitely on, like, to where we will discuss if he should be in top 5. I do agree he is a strong and good shonen protagonist.
Oh, that's easy. The next one is Mob, 100%.
Ooh,
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I knew we had to bring him up at some point. I was waiting for someone to.
I agree.
Like, but let's hear your defense, because that's, like, the point.
Oh, what's my defense? He's great.
You know what? He's right.
I don't know.
You know what? He's right.
I like that he's like, I don't know. There's no power climb in it for the most part.
Well, that's the
like,
show,
The only power
but
climb is shit. Yeah, but I didn't know that. That's what I'm saying. I was getting to that, Zach.
Oh, okay.
All of his like development is literally just him trying to be a more whole, well-rounded person, and I love that about him. Like, it's not about like, oh, I gotta beat this guy. It's just him trying to be a better person. That's the whole fucking show. Yeah, there's fighting in it. Don't get me wrong, but you know, most of those fights aren't because he seeks them out.
They're also pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
Depending, but
Well,
yeah.
And if I can hop into that, I've only seen season 1 so far.
Yeah, so we won't go into any more detail besides what we've.
I spoiled myself on a lot of season 2. It's okay.
Oh, that's
But
unfortunate.
Season 2,
One
also, you
thing-
gotta experience it, because it's very character-driven.
Oh no, I plan to watch it.
No, I'm gonna go back and
I've seen the fights and stuff.
No, I'm saying, like, you can't... For me, personally, you couldn't really spoil Season 2, because it's so much of... You have to experience the character drive.
It's fair.
I feel that. I've always been one of those people where, like, if I know something, as long as the journey is good, I don't mind if I know the ending or that they got someplace. I'm more interested in how they got there. So,
I do. I want them
to bring a parallel, Mob is a character. I think what I like about him is exactly what Tayshawn was talking about, and it's something that I see with another favorite character of mine that's not in anime, but Steven Universe, and that they both kind of try to non-violently solve their problems first before, and then are usually kind of, if they do have to do violence, they're kind of forced into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, Shorty.
Yeah, Mob is a great pick.
Yeah.
I don't have much more
Yeah,
to say there.
yeah. I can't. I will not even try to argue that because you're right.
The
What I'm
only
hearing
argument
is
I
I got all the
have,
best
and this doesn't actually work well considering the context of the series, is he's a very reactive protagonist. He rarely actively seeks to change things. Things happen to him, and he's forced to react to that. That being said, his effect on the supporting cast is normally what causes a lot of the changes throughout the series, so I would argue that's a bit moot.
Ramen Rider said, whoa, you guys are getting way off topic. We're back on topic, you're good. But yeah, we did. And
We've
yes,
been on topic for a while.
Mob's growth is so
That's
beautiful.
what
I completely agree. It's just a thrill to see it happen. So is that back to me then?
I believe so.
Okay. So, my next pick, someone I also feel like we had to bring up. So there's actually like a few picks that I think need to bring up at some point. So I'm just going to finally bring up one of them. So we got to bring up... I'm trying to debate which one, because I've got like 3 that I'm like, these characters should totally be here. And I don't want to take it away from someone
I really
else.
don't want to fucking talk about this character, but I have to.
So, I'm gonna bring up Yusuke Urameshi.
Oh, I was thinking.
God
Yeah,
damn
Took
it.
him off my
Yeah.
list.
I was
That was my
wondering. I
next
was
one.
wondering when we were gonna go for it.
Like that's why I was gonna save it for someone else, and that's why I didn't want to talk about it, cause so someone else could talk about it.
Okay. Well, pretend he didn't say it, and I'll go use it next round. Go.
All
He
right,
was on
that's
my
fine.
list as well.
That's fine.
Samesies.
Spike Spiegel. I would not consider a shonen protagonist. His show is more of just a pure sci-fi show.
Yeah.
That being said, his character arc, that is a very growth-oriented story, also about facing your past. So I could see an argument, although, yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
So then my other pick is Saitama.
No,
No? No what?
I don't think he should be on the list.
Oh, that's what you mean. Well, here's the reasons why you're wrong. So, Saitama is one of those kind of unique characters who truly doesn't grow as a character. Yet. I'm not sure. I haven't read the One's comic, so I don't know how much he changes, but to my knowledge, he doesn't change much as a person. But his influence on the world does. How he interacts with characters and how he develops as a person is different in the way that he doesn't change who he is, but what he does at any given time. But the reason I think he needs to be brought up anyway is because he influences the world more than pretty much anyone else. He literally kind of helps create the Hero Association indirectly. And of course, one reason I wanted to bring him up is because he's one of my favorite tropes in comic books, not really in anime, where part of being a hero is not just like, I kill the bad guy, so I'm the good guy. He's just actually one of the nicest and best people there is. Like, literally, Tang Top Tiger and the other Tang, and Tang Top Black Hole, which are the best hero names of all time, are upset because part of the town are destroyed, and he made one of them look stupid. And it was his fault that city was destroyed. They're right about that. So they rally the citizens against him. However, he pretty much points out to them that you can just hate him. That's fine, because it's not about that. It doesn't matter his public opinion or who cares about what. Point is, everyone's safe. But I think the part that exemplifies that best is during the fight with Sea King.
Yeah.
When he fights Sea King and defeats him in one punch, one guy in the group proclaims that clearly these heroes suck. All the S heroes, all of, like Moomin Rider, all of them clearly are terrible because they couldn't defeat this hero this villain that even a C tier hero did. However, Saitama hears this and just out loud screams that he's so glad that all these S heroes weakened him so he could take him down so easily, so that way I could look like the hero, and then he's the most despised person in the entire city instantly. Which is great, because he literally sacrificed his entire reputation just so the other heroes can still be seen as heroes. Especially ones like Moomin Rider, who is the best character of all time. That's why Saitama, that's pretty much it. He's just the best. He's just a great person and does what he needs to be done. He's literally Captain America and Superman, but way sillier.
I do have one argument, Zach.
Yes.
Moomin Rider is not the best One Punch Man character.
I mean, you're wrong, but why? Why are you wrong?
There are two better. One, Puri Puri Prisoner.
I'm not a big fan of Puri Puri Prisoner. I think he's funny, but
he is a pretty good one.
And
It's a little
the
offensive.
Yellow Streak.
a little bit. The Yellow Streak? Who?
Yeah. The Yellow Streak. He's the hero and nobody knows.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. I understand now. Now Oh, are you gonna buy the game and stream it with the Yellow Streak hero?
No, absolutely not.
What? That's what I was hearing. That you guys heard that too, right? Ow. Yeah. Justice crashed
So-
that ass bitch. That's right. He thought you were talking about Lightning Max, and that's what I thought too.
That's what I thought too. So, there's one problem with your argument, and that's that every argument you've made is based off season 1, and
Yeah, I
every
watched
argument
season
against
two. I
him is
can't
in
make
season 2.
Okay, let's hear.
Well, Saitama does almost nothing to progress the plot. Actually, Saitama does nothing in conjunction with the plot. He has his own plot, which is bad and distractible, to be honest. It's a really shitty tournament arc, which hurts me to say because I love any and all tournament arcs.
Huh?
He literally distracts from the story
Play
constantly.
forever ago.
He has almost nothing to do with the story. He has one cool moment where he
Yeah,
kind of shows
plays
off to one of the tournament contestants later on. But aside from that, you don't really get much of him. You get some nice bits with him and King earlier on, but as a character, yeah, he's great. As a protagonist, no, he's terrible. He does very little to actually affect the plot at all, aside from solve the plot eventually. And in the case of season 2, he is actually constantly distracting you from the plot, as opposed to being part of it in some capacity. And I feel that, that Saitama's good, but he's not top 5. And you can't ignore the whole second season of the show just because it's not very good.
I know. I'm not. I just haven't seen it yet, so I can't comment.
Yeah, in the context of season 1, he's a lot more proactive, and even when he's not proactive, he's at least a part of the story.
But I will
He's
point
not
out.
having a complete... Sorry, go ahead.
I will point out. I have read everything you were talking about, and he's still great in that segment of the tournament arc.
Now, there is a lot of argument for the anime representing that section of the story badly because of a whole number of production issues. So, that's fair. That being said, especially going by our previous picks, we are talking much more exclusively about anime and not manga.
Truth. For the most part. We've also already talked about manga stuff, but that's fine too.
With Soryu and Aang and characters like that, who are anime or animation specific
Yeah.
or exclusive.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's not animation exclusive.
Yeah, he's got comics later on, but they're additions. They're not source material.
Also true.
And they're
Oh, I
not a
hear
part of the
they're very
conversation with them anyway.
I think only like one of us has read them, so that's probably true.
I mean, I've read them.
Oh, then like two of us are.
Well, I read the Search
Okay. I need
because
to
of,
read it.
that's the answer I wanted.
Well, I did say one of us. I didn't say it was me. Because I haven't read it.
But yeah, no, that season 2 is entirely my argument against Saitama. The tournament arc might be better in the manga. I'm not sure because I didn't read the manga.
Well, the arc
The
is
anime,
the final
it's
fight's
just
much better.
frustrating. It's just frustrating because you got all the whole like monster association thing going on, and then we're just cutting to Saitama just like fucking dicking around the whole time. And it's like, no, I got a plot going on. I want to watch the plot. Why is Saitama not even in the plot?
Because it's not important.
That's not his plot.
I'm still going to put him in maybe, unless someone else agrees that we should not include him.
I feel like it is unfair that someone gets qualified by the fact that no one watched the second season.
Hey, you know, man. Didn't watch it. Still like him.
I mean, again, I'm not saying Saitama's bad. I don't think he's a very good protagonist, at least in the grand scheme of the anime. But I don't think he's a bad character by any extent.
Yeah.
Also,
Well,
there's got to be some dissent on this list.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well then, Isaac, you're up next.
Who's my other characters? because Yusuke was probably the one I was going to bring up next, but we decided to put that off. Who are my other picks?
I watched the second season. I don't think he should be top 5. He is good, but not top 5. That's what Tony says. That is some dissension.
So I already did Vash. Yusuke's getting put off. I did Joseph. Who are my other two?
I think we'll do one more rotation after this, and then we'll try and decide a final 5.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I had a 5th character. Why am I not thinking of them? Oh, and you'll hate me for this, Zach. Senku.
Damn.
From Dr.
I was going to
Stone.
bring him up at some point.
Yeah, I know. So I apologize, but he's one of my last two, and the last one I want to save for the last one.
So why should Senku
Because
Dr. Stone be included?
A, he is an interesting combination of a character who is selfish. His desires are selfish, but they have intermixed in them some selfless bits. He is doing them for purely selfish reasons, and he's not even pretending that they are selfless, nor is the implication to be selfless. It's not like
Well, there are some times where it's implied that it is selfless, but then it ends up being that it is totally selfish.
That's the thing, though, because he also has selfless reasons mixed in. That is not his primary goal or his primary motivation, as far as it is explained thus far. His goal is to advance science because goddamn does he love science, and also he wants to go to the moon, and he can't do that without science. He is the best character in his show, constantly stealing the spotlight off of everyone without actually hindering other characters. And he is a rare example where you just couldn't switch it with any other protagonist and have it function the same. Not just because of how brainy he is, but just how his personality interacts with everyone else. He's not shameful or he's not bashful or quiet or spineless. No, he is constantly in the spotlight. He just demands attention when he talks. So, yeah, I think he is a prime example of a good protagonist. Not just a good character, but a good protagonist. And that's my argument.
Does anyone have anyone against?
I suspect that we are the only two who watched it.
Yeah,
Watched
okay.
Oh, you watched
Oh, you
it?
watched it, Joe?
Yeah.
Well, should Senku...
You've covered your points pretty thoroughly. I mean, you're not missing anything.
All right,
Well,
fair.
I gotta leave it open for counterpoints.
All right.
But if there are none available, we can move on.
I haven't watched it, so my only counterpoint would be his hair's fucking stupid.
That is a good time.
The fights are ridiculously short.
You're not even well animated either.
No. All of the characters have like fucking hammerhead shark eyes.
I'd argue those fights are actually kind of cool when they actually do fight.
Oh yeah.
Have fights.
Sure.
It's actually kind of
Some
dope.
of them are fun, but because they're not really fights so much as they're nerds trying to get the upper hand on brawny people.
Yeah.
So, although I do kind of contradict myself because I did say I at the very least was only really considering battle series and sports, and this technically is neither.
Technically. There's some battling, but it's not really the point.
Yeah,
Regardless, I'll put him
but
in the
it does
maybes as
follow
well.
the main motif that I wanted to argue, which is growth. And it probably follows it a lot better than a lot of shows we've talked about.
Probably. Well then, next is Broseph. What do you got?
I guess I'd go with Gon Freets from Hunter x Hunter.
Going Freaks.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I'm gonna
mean,
let you
character
get that out of the way.
development-wise,
I have to use the restroom.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Tony did point out the crude animation is part of the charm of the show, and
Yeah.
Ramen Rider said Kintaro is best character. The creepy, isn't that the creep? Like the kid who no one likes as a person because he's a creepy asshole.
Okay, I'm not going to the bathroom because Chris is taking a shower still.
Oh, okay. Well,
Go to the
Broseph,
bathroom in your seat,
Go.
you coward.
go right ahead, Broseph.
So yeah, I pick him only because probably just I don't know. He explores the vast world that what's it they have in that series.
Which
Earth?
series? Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I don't know the world of Hunter x Hunter's name.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
Earth.
Probably Earth 2077.
Earth after the corona.
Yeah, post Corona.
Makes a bunch of half human, half animal, half bug, half stuff people. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not good.
Superpowers. Shit.
Oh no, not the Kintaro I was thinking of. Kintaro Oe from Golden Boy. It was he went to
Agreed.
His name is Kentaro Oe.
Kentaro Oe.
Oh Lord.
Oh my god.
Kentaro is not a good name because that
Sounds so
means
much like quinoa.
testicles.
It means
I
what?
don't know,
So there's a whole ongoing joke, and this is a joke in Gintama, where he's called Kintama or Kintoki.
Yeah.
Gintama, as the anime title, means silver soul. Kintama would translate to something around the lines of testicle or testicle soul. And that is an
That's
ongoing joke about why one of the characters in the show calls him Kintoki. The guy with the shades, the afro guy with the shades, calls him Kintoki. That's why it's Gintoki
It's calling him
gets
a
mad
dick.
about it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's calling him testicles. And apparently there were actually parents in Japan who would not let children buy the Gintama manga because it looked too much like Kintama.
Awesome. It's great. So why Gone Freaks?
Let's see. Dude's on an adventure trying to find his dad.
Yep.
I mean, ultimately finds his dad. I mean, that's pretty cool. Oh, I'm sorry. Bad times around. I don't know. The fights in it were pretty good, and he just had a very positive attitude for most of it. It was pretty much that Chimera Ant arc. This is when, he started getting more of the, fuck this shit kind of attitude. Which is nice.
Which is nice. I like it when my characters decide to fuck this shit.
So, I would argue against him on the premise that there are only 3 arcs where he's really the main character.
That's a fair point.
The first 2 arcs
Same, no,
and the Greed Island arc. In York New, the Chimera Ant arc, and the final arc of the series, including the final arc where he's not even present,
Nope.
he is not the main character. And that is more than half the show. The Chimera Ant arc doesn't really have a main character, which adds to some of that kind of the problem surrounding that. And the York New City follows Kurapika the whole time, with Gon and Killua getting into trouble on the side, but that's not really the driving force of the story.
Right.
I would argue for him in that when he gets older, his hair looks really cool.
Oh, well, that's a good point.
Can't
I
argue
would
with
argue
facts.
against that because you're objectively wrong that he looks stupid.
Hey, as we know, best protagonists have green hair.
Best
Except when it's
protagonists
like
have
black,
long hair.
but it's also kind of green.
Yeah.
But it's
If you have a
mostly
power up where your
Mostly
hair
green.
gets longer, that means you're stronger.
Is true. Except
Now I want
Saitama.
to see a shonen where when the main character powers up, their hair starts getting buzz cut.
green.
Cold.
Oh, you know
Their hair
what?
starts shrinking.
We have that character, Isaac.
It's
Koichi.
Saitama.
Oh, that too.
It is Saitama.
Who?
That's true, yeah, Koichi.
Koichi.
I mean, that's fair. Although his hair does get longer by the end.
Yeah.
It's impossible to tell. Actually, no, his hair almost inarguably gets longer the whole time, but it's hard to tell because it keeps changing.
Yeah.
What of Kuroko from
Short is good.
Kuroko Basket? I haven't seen it, so I can't include it. Is that
I
shonen
mean, the whole
enough?
point of
Yes,
that show is
it is
Kuroko
shonen
is
enough.
unremarkable. So,
Though he's a
maybe
very
not.
popular character.
Fair.
Well then, whoops. I always forget that I still have that. I need to just delete it.
Yeah, delete your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my alarm. Crap. What was I gonna bring up? Oh yeah. Michael or Tay? Because last round we went Michael first before Tay. So whoever wants to go next, I guess.
Deshaun, do you want to go?
Sure.
Sweet.
Let's hear Tay.
I'm gonna go with the man of many names, himself.
Yeah, who? Who's that?
What is? I don't know. Hold on.
You were
I
gonna-
thought we were going with Yusuke.
Name one
yeah.
of his names.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go with Yusuke, but if you're going with someone
Oh
else,
yeah, I forgot. I'll use this guy on the next round. Then fine, Yusuke Urameshi. I forgot that I
Okay.
could do that now.
Sounds good, boss. Why Yusuke Urameshi?
He's cool and he's got a punk attitude that I just love. Also, I feel like he's got some great character development, which I feel like you could say about any of these people, but he does. Like, I genuinely feel like he does. I love his relationship with basically the rest of the cast. And even though he's a punk, he's got a good heart, and I love seeing that in a character. He doesn't really get OP until the last arc of the show.
Yeah.
Prior to that,
Arc
he
and
has
a half.
pretty reasonable powers. And even then, I feel like he's the OG. I secretly had demon blood, so I'm cool now. So it's all right.
You're not wrong there. Like, he wasn't the original, but he was like one of the first big ones. Yeah. I would actually add one more argument in your favor, which is the only real tangible through line through all the arcs is Yusuke and his development. That is actually the glue that holds all these separate arcs together. Yeah, there's a
Yes,
little bit of
also,
layover from one arc to the next, but the arcs all really function independently and only feel like they're connected because Yusuke's character arc goes through all of them and they're all important to Yusuke's character. Except, Rando can go fuck himself. I mean, the rest of the arc's cool, but not Rando.
Yeah, man, fuck Rando. I'm glad we all
Also,
agree on
Saint Beast, I hate that arc.
I actually like that arc.
Sorry, not sorry. Anyone got any arguments against Yusuke?
I really don't care for him much,
Also, he could
but
be
I
my
still
dad,
think
so,
he's a really good protagonist still. So no, not really.
We
Joe,
gotta
am I-
knock. We gotta
Sorry.
knock off points because he's obviously a closet simp. Because the only person he's nice to is the chick he has feelings for. So
He's right about that one. But we'll debate about that when we actually decide the official top 5.
okay.
But he's right.
he
That is a
also-
knock against him.
He also
closet
misgenders
simp.
transgender women, so...
He does punch a He does beat up a
Oh, no,
transgender
he
woman
tells
by
a
molesting
transgender
someone.
woman to man up.
Oh God.
Yeah. No.
And
His
calls,
exact
says,
words.
This is a mister.
His exact words are, if you're going to switch genders, do it or don't. You have to go full or nothing.
Don't do
He came
things
up with a
half-assed.
towel.
Yeah, don't do shit half-assed.
But that's kind of the problem. In the Japanese, as I found out recently, no, actually, he does tell her to man up.
That's not surprising.
That was the original
He
translation.
also molests her just to
Yeah.
make sure she is is genetically male.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's not a good person. We didn't say he was a good person.
Also,
Oh,
shout out,
we at Yusuke
Tagashi
right
gets
now?
really good
Yeah.
at transgender representation later on. He's very good in Hunter x Hunter with transgender representation.
Sweet.
Wait,
So-
it's the
Always
same
good to
guy?
hear. Yes.
That sucks.
Why do you think Gon's dad is Yusuke Urameshi?
Because he's indirectly his dad.
Yeah.
It's alright, yeah, Yusuke. Woo!
Woo. Then Michael.
Alright. So, are we counting Death Note?
I
As a
mean, it
shonen?
does.
I don't think that is Shonen, but...
by
But it
genre,
wasn't
yes,
shonen,
but
It's in there.
by genre,
Well, yeah,
yes,
shonen
but
Not by
It's
what we
shonen?
were categorizing. But
but I'll
Shonen.
give you
How
your
you
chance to
possibly
defend it.
What happens
Alright.
between him and L as anything else but a battle?
I don't
What?
know.
Oh, exactly. Him and L, but him and like any obstacle
the
really
police
that comes
force.
up.
Yeah.
But I will say, if granted, much I like my other pick, Fullmetal Alchemist, Death Note is a very different shonen from everything else. But I think what makes him a good protagonist partly is just the fact that he flips what we think of as a protagonist on its head. Because normally when you hear protagonist, you think the hero,
Yeah.
which for 90% of media that is how it goes. But protagonist is really just who you're following.
Yeah.
So part of it's just the interesting way that the show just flipping that dynamic of having what would be the villain of any other show, in a serious villain, not like in a comedy show, be basically the hero in this context. It really like makes you kind of like look at some of the different ways that we expect our protagonist to act. I also think he's just in his own show. He ends up being.
I'll be
Let's
right
be
back.
real. He's. We get to see him just grow backwards, basically. You know, we see him grow in all the wrong ways that we wouldn't normally want to see a protagonist grow.
Oh yeah, he is a
gets
negative character
cockier.
arc.
Yeah, exactly. He gets cockier, more showboaty, all that
God
stuff.
damn it, Mike.
What?
Yeah, the point you're making right now, I was gonna make for someone else, but I'm just done with it.
You know, he's just plain boring and predictable and kills that that cop's wife for no reason to be edgy. Did we talk about Jotaro? I lagged out. We did not talk about Jotaro.
No, we did not.
We brought up many Jojas. Jotaro was one we talked about a little, but not as a contender.
Yeah, no.
No, sorry. Jotaro's great, but like he's just not a great protagonist.
He's not even-
He's great outside of part 3.
Yeah, he's really
Part
great
4
outside-
Jotaro
His
is
best
stuff-
Jotaro. When
best.
he's a marine
Part-
biologist, he's great.
Yeah.
Part 3 Jotaro, not even top 5 Joe stars.
Yeah, it's true. Not even top 5. No, Kuroko from Kuroko Knows Basket. Oh, you said Kuroko. I thought I saw Jotaro. Sorry, I would consider him. He definitely qualifies, but
we
like,
kind of stuck with the battle anime. Didn't
yeah,
even go
I
anywhere near
have
sports.
one
Yeah.
for sports anime, but I haven't had a chance to talk about it yet.
Was it
Kuroko-
Hikaru from Hikaru no Go?
No, it's not Hikaru from Hikaru no Go because that show sucks dick.
Sorry, what are we on right now?
Were you done with your points on light, or was
Yeah,
that,
I'm
was
pretty
that
much
it?
done.
Okay.
I'm not great at this. So.
No, it's
so,
totally fine. It's just a discussion video, so that's fine.
I will
It
add,
did really
although I have
nothing
no
matter.
actual preference to Light. Light is also one of the few, if only, characters on this list, Gon maybe included, whose character arc is largely negative rather than positive.
Oh yeah,
They don't get
I pointed
better as
that
a
out
person.
already. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind
no,
of my
I-
entire point.
yeah. We talked about that in depth.
Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom, so I missed
No,
part
you're
of the
good.
video.
It's totally fine.
Um,
You did say sports did count earlier. Yeah, no, it does.
Mhm.
We totally said that Kuroko no Basket absolutely counts. I've never watched a single episode or read any of
Same.
it, but I have no defense. That's why I haven't included it. Kuroko knows basket absolutely qualifies.
The only reason I'm not really arguing against Death Note, even though I should, is because it is a prime example of a protagonist with a negative character arc. So I think it's interesting to have on this list. But it still does kind of have that same theme of growth, even if it's very bad.
Yeah.
Growth from a necessary evil to, no, I'm just evil.
Tony did
Yeah.
say for another time he's going to save it for his choice. Absolutely, when we can have you
Yes.
on. I'd love to hear your points on Kuroko no basket.
Tony, we miss
Ironically,
you.
I'll give my speech on it
Considering the
whenever.
subject matter, I don't remember much of Kuroko.
He said he's seen the show and the movie twice. Hell yeah.
Swag. I mean, it's a good show. If you want to watch basketball, but with like shonen superpowers, top tier. Then Zachariah on our final round. You are the first one.
So, I'll say since this is our final round, I do have two I want to bring up. And don't worry, neither of them will be ones that I'm sure people will bring up. Okay. One of which is Hinata. Hinata from Haikyuu is an amazing main character.
Speaking of sports,
Yeah, I had to bring up one. That's why I said I had two, because I need one of us had to at least bring up one sports anime. Now to be fair, I've only read it.
We were talking about Akaru.
I cannot hear a word you're saying, Tay.
I
Too
heard.
cool. Yeah, that's all I heard too.
I said you already brought up sports anime when you brought up Akaru.
Bitch, we didn't get fucked. Anyway.
Tayshawn, please put him as your pick.
I'm gonna
I wanna
sound
hear
bite
the
that
actual
quote. That,
debate.
bitch, we didn't even get fucked.
Yeah.
He couldn't even finish. He's just like,
It's the reason why is because he brought it up for like a second, but not as a pick or anything. Asked if my pick was Hikaru from Hikaru no Go, and that was it. That's all we talked about.
and Zach's reaction was disgust.
Yeah, that was my reaction exactly.
What about Prince from Prince of Tennis?
Is that his name?
Oh, that's
I don't think that's
these
his
are,
name.
These are titles I haven't heard.
I'm pretty
You guys
sure
are
in
just
time.
I've seen Prince
ignoring
of Tennis,
the
but yeah, no.
primo
mid
Ippo
2000s.
from Hajime no Ippo.
I have
Actually,
not
that
watched
is a
that one,
fucking great pick.
so I can't include him.
No.
But
It's been a long while. So
I
don't
have
wanna
checked
include
out
it.
Hinata from Haikyuu. Haikyuu is a great show because I didn't like sports anime, but somehow it just drew me in with its spectacular characters and just how goddamn amazing it is. And Hinata is a big part of that. Literally, they're the worst team in the entire league. They're the Crows. They're called the Fallen Crows because they suck. They were the best team in the world, and then they lost all the time without fail. But when him and the King of the Court come to join the team as new students, they reinvigorate everyone, and they're finally driven to become the country's top team in the prefecture once again. He's literally the driving force of all that. They call him he wants to idolize. He wants to be like his idol, the little rookie, who's another person who's exceedingly short when volleyball is more of a sport for taller competitors. But all in all, he's great. He just has this can-do attitude about literally every situation. Best way I could describe it is just imagine Goku, but not in an annoying way. Because he's not a grown adult. He's a small teenager who is a freshman in high school. So yeah. The other one I wanted to bring up, unless someone has an objection about Hinata.
I haven't seen it, so
Okay,
No.
fair
I'm
enough.
good.
I guess I would have an objection, but more just on I don't remember anything especially stand out about him. He kind of fits in the same peg as kind of like mid Naruto or Asta, in that they're very hyper aggressive, do your best kind of shining light character, which is not bad.
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
also-
remember anything especially stand out about him.
I kind of like Asta too. But my other pick,
Oh, I like Asa. I like Naruto. None of them are bad characters.
my other pick though is one I did not think anyone bring up as well. I did want to talk about Deku, but I won't bring him up because I want
Are we
someone
just
else.
not going to bring up Deku?
If no one's done to talk about him, I guess not.
Isaac wants blood, okay?
Yeah, I do want.
I guess Isaac Deku's gonna have to be your pick if you want to talk
the
about.
buckets.
I would have to talk about two characters then.
That's fine. I'll allow two. I gave myself two.
Aren't you? Don't you want to argue against him though?
I mean, I could feel like I could bring up a lot of good points, but
And negative points as
I'll
well.
get to that. I'll get to that.
Yeah. Anyway, so my pick is also Ruby Rose from Ruby. For those who probably have or have not watched Ruby, it is a web series made to emulate anime by a great creator who clearly had just learned how to animate things in high school, because it does not look great at the start. But that's of the talking about the show's quality, not the character. Ruby herself is a small child who is a teenager who starts off
He
as
gets
just...
a lot better after season 3.
I agree. Absolutely. I think season 3 is when it starts to really get better, like, visually. Absolutely. So, in terms of the character, though, Ruby starts off as just your own happy-go-lucky teenager in high school who's just pretty much generic teen anime girl, really. However, in the... as the show's progressed in terms of characters growing as a character, she is nothing like she was at the start. Now she's just trying to do right by the people of her country, even if that means literally, essentially becoming a terrorist. Like, she's literally is willing to renounce her country. Her everything she once believed in has pretty much blown up in her face, and she's had no choice but to go against the greater, I guess pretty much the government would be the best way to put it, of the world of Remnant. But yeah, she's just kind of that, I think, perfect blend of just a good, happy-go-lucky character who then grows into someone who just can't be that anymore because the world and everything she has experienced has changed her as a person.
Fair enough. I can't argue against it because I haven't seen Ruby.
Me
Yeah.
either.
I've only seen
90%,
the,
90% of what everyone says, I can't argue.
I got you.
Now does beg the question, and I apologize. Should we put someone on the maybe a list who the vast majority of the group has not even?
I mean, we got a
Adam.
bunch of those, so pretty much I'm
Yeah.
just going to nix a lot of the ones that we just have nothing to talk about when we get to it. We're obviously not that far yet. We'll be there in a second, though. So, Isaac, who are your two characters that you wanted to talk about?
Well, let's start off with Midoriya. Midoriya is
I agree with whatever Isaac thinks.
All right.
That's a statement.
That's our first time. I
Midoriya
heard
is a
that.
very good character to start with. He's extremely inspiring, and he does come from a painfully relatable spot. He is told his whole life that he is inadequate and that he cannot compete with his
Been there.
peers. And so, it is the first season specifically. His character development is fantastic. He finally gets that emotional support he always wanted. He finally gets someone who believes that he has the ability to be a hero. And he pushes himself to meet their expectations.
Ooh, preach.
God damn it, Tayshawn.
What? You're right.
Why are
He
you
agrees
booing
with you.
him? He's right.
Why are you booing me? I'm right. In the second season, largely, we see how this affects his classmates. part of this in the first season continues into the second season. We see how this affects his old high school or his old middle school bully Bakugo, in that it creates a huge, or it puts a, how do I put it? It cripples his already tentative ego. We see this with Todoroki, who sees him as a rival, and we see this with Ida, who sees him as a friend. So it's an interesting little triad there. And Midoriya shows through his perseverance and through his attitude, one, why he deserves to be there, and two, helps show the flaws in their own character. Bakugo, whose entire character was, whose entire outlook on life was basically he's strong and Midoriya's weak. And with Midoriya becoming strong, that kind of like alters his whole life views. Todoroki, who who represses part of himself out of anger towards his dad, and Ida, who comes to realize that his goals to become a hero were never selfless in the first place, and that he's struggled to act like a hero when the opportunity arose. My problem with Midoriya stems from the third season onward, when he becomes, how do I put it? He doesn't have a strong influence on the characters around him. He does have some, but largely it's just, I need to save people. And every conflict he runs into is, I don't want you to save that person, and Midoriya goes, no, I will save them.
Well, you're
And then
forgetting
he
he
saves them.
specifically goes, if I can't save this person, then I can't call myself a hero.
Yes, and the big problem is, well, part of it is also the story does, in his defense, begin to focus on a lot of other characters as a foreground. I didn't hear what you said, Dave.
He said truer words have never been said. He can't call himself a hero unless if he can't save this one girl. He's right.
The problem is he does that twice in a row with Muscular and Overhaul.
And in all the movies.
And in all the movies.
I meant Isaac's words were true.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I would argue, since they're my words, but I feel like that's double-edged.
he feels like there's some sinisterness going on here.
And although I do enjoy Midoriya, the fact that he spent a lot of even the recent anime either on the back line or just kind of repeating the same character struggles over and over again hurts him a lot for me. It doesn't really feel like,
I just
oh
realized,
my god, Tayshawn,
What is
can
that?
you made me...
Isaac, no one is arguing with you, so you're literally arguing with yourself at this point, because you
You
started off
guys
by
made
promoting
me!
it.
I was waiting for one of you guys to bring it up, and then I had to argue both for and against it. So I'm just saying my whole story.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll wait. You go ahead.
I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to be fair and show all the things going for him, and then why I say he's not a top 5 character.
Yeah.
And I have to fill both
Then
sides.
why
of this
bring
argument.
him up?
Because he needed to be
Everyone
brought
agreed
up.
he should be on this list.
He wanted,
just
he
did-
wanted
did-
it to be on the list, but he also wants
No one
to
wanted to
show
be the
that
one
he
to do
doesn't
it.
want to be on the list.
You guys kind of ruined my whole fun here, because this is half the fun was going to be me getting argued with Olga. And
Yeah, I know.
thought this was
That's
gonna be a
why do you
fight.
think Tay specifically said, I agree with everything you say, so you would have nothing to... He's not going to argue with you. He agrees. You're
One
right.
of you should have argued this. One of you should have argued
Okay, he's the best ever because he's a great guy,
All right, fine,
and
fine.
he's
I'm done
spectacular. No,
arguing Midoriya, all right?
No. I'm not. You
seriously
fine.
argue him.
I'll give you an argument. I think he's literally the best character, like one of the greatest protagonists of all time. I have literally no complaints about him at all. I have no issues with him as a character. If you want my argument, that's it. I just don't have much to say besides that.
Well, fine. But that's not fun either, because that doesn't give me
Ramen Rider
anything
says
to argue
Deku wins because Isaac lost to himself.
I mean, I guess.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead. Who's your next character, Isaac? Go ahead.
This was my whole point of why I waited. I was hoping someone else was going to bring up. Because my other character is Tanjiro from Demon Slayer.
I knew it was going to be him.
That was a good
I was
one.
gonna say him, but
The reason I bring him up directly after Deku is because they are very similar characters, but I feel Tanjiro is stronger. Purely because, well, not purely, but we'll get to that. But the big reason is Deku's whole reason for being a hero, although he is a selfless person, his desire to be the number one hero is mostly based off selfish desire. He was inspired by All Might to be that inspiring hero. He wants to be the number one hero because he wants to be. Tanjiro becomes a Demon Slayer in Demon Slayer to protect and hopefully cure his little sister. He has no selfish goals in that. His goals are entirely motivated by that. Every story arc that he is important in is motivated by that need. And he is constantly having to struggle against people who see his sister as a monster, and he and his sister have to show them that she is not. His growth as a fighter is purely to facilitate that desire. It is purely because he needs to get stronger to protect his sister, to protect his friends, and to accomplish his own goals. They're not out of a desire for strength in and of itself. And on top of that, his determination and his kindness are what influence the main supporting cast throughout the entire series. So I feel like by the same archetype, because they are both very much the same, like, pure good boy cinnamon bun character archetype, but I feel because Tanjiro's most base goal is entirely selfless, he does this better, along with how it's presented in the series and how it comes into conflict.
Yeah.
all right.
Well, I'll argue
I would
that he's
argue
actually terrible.
You haven't
I'll
watched
argue
the
that
show.
Midoriya is
I
also
know. That's why
selfless.
my argument ends there.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead,
No,
Michael. I
expect
think
it
you
to win
actually
this
have a
'cause Only
point.
me and Mike have watched it,
What is it? Hold up.
unless Joe
Can you
has
hear
seen
me?
it too.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
oh,
you're good.
sorry.
Well,
I think
I
I
got
have my
three
mic.
people.
I
Cool.
think I have my mic
Maybe.
muted. So I'm gonna argue against Tanjiro here, and I do like the show, but that's okay.
Where did I put my phone?
So I agree with all of your points, Isaac, and it's refreshing to. You didn't bring this up. Much like some of my other picks for protagonists, it's refreshing to see someone like a protagonist so selfless, like or I guess so empathetic, even to people, even to his enemies. Like so many protagonists don't really bat an eye at the kind of like cannon fodder they're going through, whereas it feels like
Tanjiro's
he
even
does.
nice to cannon fodder.
That's what I'm saying. He even gives like the cannon fodder like respect. However, as a protagonist, he's kind of too perfect of a person, and it makes him a little boring for me. He's the nicest, the sweetest, always,
Always right.
he doesn't really seem like he has flaws. You know what I mean? Not character-wise. And it doesn't really feel like he does grow.
Well, that's his
You
fault.
know,
His fault.
Midoriya
His
at least
biggest flaw is
kinda
that he's
does-
inhabiting.
Have some kind of growth going.
I do want to point out that much of that same bit could be said to Midoriya, where he is
Yeah.
almost entirely selfless. The only big difference is just
His end
Tanjiro's
goal.
a whole 9 yards. His goal is also selfish, whereas Midoriya's is, although selfless in effect, selfish in desire.
But, two things. One, I wasn't arguing who was the nicest cinnamon bun. I was arguing who's
That's
not
fair.
boring.
Who's a good one?
Two,
Who's the
I would
tastiest?
argue that Midoriya's motivation intrinsically, because it's more of a self-actualized motivation, it kind of hooks you a little more. Like,
Also, his motivation is to bring hope to people.
well, it's also to be the greatest hero in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
literally how
yeah,
he starts
but-
the series.
Yeah,
This is
no,
how I
I'm saying
do, you know what I mean?
I'm saying I'm saying I'm arguing with you, Michael. I'm saying
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not. It's not a selfish desire. Like his even
Well,
when they
that's
like
not a
talk about
selfish
why you
desire,
want to
but
be.
you can argue that.
I mean, you could say
wanting
his
to be the
desire
number one
is
hero.
selfish, but his methods are not at all. In fact, he
No.
No, but when
No,
they
which
say
is what
why
I
he
did
wants to be
argue.
it, how is his desire? How is it selfish to want to be the greatest hero so that you can bring hope to people or
well,
save people?
I mean, he doesn't
He's
do
not,
it.
he doesn't want it to the
You
icon. He's
gotta,
not like
you
I want
gotta,
to
you
be the
gotta
greatest hero,
take
so I
out,
can
you
do
gotta
anything.
take out
You got to take out
to help
the
people
rest
because
of
yeah,
it.
you could add that modifier to just about any character that we've talked about and say, well, they're obviously 100% selfish.
He said Midoriya is probably mint and Tanjiro is more chocolate. I don't know what that
God.
means, but I somehow agree with you.
It's the hair.
Yeah.
It's the hair. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
but you can't say that like someone's goal makes them selfish automatically. By that definition, you could say that anyone who has a goal, period, that involves themselves is selfish.
No, this is the
It, on a
first
level,
if you're
it
not
is.
looking at the reason.
Let's not get into like.
No, I think he has
Too
a good
deep in the
point
woods
there, but
here.
yeah, but
But-
we'll just leave it at that though.
I was about to say, technically, if it's for you on some level, it is selfish. It does not mean it's a bad thing, but
No,
it does mean
and-
it's selfish.
At no point is Midoriya
Yeah, it's not.
selfish
There's no
in
point.
a
Is he?
flawed way.
Yeah,
It is just that
selfishness
his
can be a
desire-
good thing.
His
That's what I'm
desire
arguing
springs from himself.
I mean, that's
He
kind of what
wants to be the greatest hero.
And yeah,
That is-
Ramen Rider also makes a good point. What if his sister doesn't want to be cured?
That's true.
I mean, you got a fair
I
point.
mean, I didn't think about that, but that is a fair point. I mean,
But the context of the series does suggest that she does
That
not
she
like
does,
being
yeah.
a demon.
Yeah.
But that's true. You
I mean,
guys,
it's
2
pretty
more
heavily
minutes to
implied.
wrap up and move on. Being
okay, I'm sorry.
person here. Yeah, no,
This is the argument I wanted.
I know, but we still have to decide the top 5, which will be the conversation after the next 2,
Yeah,
3
but I
people
can't
give
argue
ideas.
that
Anyway.
if Tanjiro's not even in there.
I mean,
No.
anyway, that's my end of it. He's too perfect as of a person.
And it makes
and
him more
really
annoying
boring.
than endearing.
And yeah,
I wouldn't say more annoying, but
More boring.
yeah, you could argue less interesting.
Okay, so, Broseph, who is your final 1 or 2, or I guess 3 if you really have that many?
You also didn't say how you
I-
felt about Tanjiro. Or I didn't hear it because everyone was talking.
I did include him in the maybes, but we'll see if he sticks around.
I mean, I thought Tanjiro was pretty good.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Yeah.
keeping him in the maybes.
Yeah,
I don't. I
he's
will.
He's a part of that.
I don't
that
want him in the top
cinnamon
5, but
bun.
I'm going to count him.
Can I
area, yeah.
Can I say one last thing about it? In
One
conjunction with
very
Midoriya?
final thing. That
My
we're not even
argument
going to
is-
argue. You're just going to say it.
All right. In conjunction with Midoriya, I think Tanjiro is consistent. Midoriya starts strong and goes lower over time.
Yeah, That's fine. That's
true.
your
But you
opinion.
are also arguing.
I also
seasons
disagree,
versus
but-
one.
Now, Broseph,
Yeah.
who is your 1 or 2, or possibly 3 if you really have that many, final characters you wanted to present? I have a feeling you don't have that many.
I don't.
I didn't think so. That's why it
No.
was a joke.
No, we covered quite a few areas. And,
Absolutely. It's the only reason I wanted 2 is because I wanted to finish up like my last possible characters that I felt had to be on here. Or at least mentioned.
I'll bring up Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins.
He was on my list actually.
What did
Yeah.
you say? He cut out for me. What did he say?
He said Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh God, we can get Andy in on this. He's online.
Oh yeah, I'd have to
I would
invite him.
argue against Meliodas because he's a sex offender, but that's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, that is
That
very much
does
true.
not rule you out. Senyu was brought up too, and
Yes,
he's
Senyu was
legally
brought up
won, though he didn't actually do anything.
He didn't do it, but he was charged with it for sure.
Yeah, he
That's
was
Senyu, not
literally
Meliodas.
actually
Meliodas is
convicted.
the other way around. He did do it. He just wasn't charged.
Yeah.
I feel like he didn't do it, but he was charged. Is the argument most sex offenders make?
Good point.
So what's your argument for Meliodas?
Let's see. Despite coming from a dark and shadowy past, he helps influence people in positive ways and tries to get them to better themselves or something.
He does do that quite a lot, and very well, despite not being the best of persons.
Oh yeah, no, terrible person.
He is not, but he does have some cinnamon bun qualities.
Yeah,
Also very
he's
true.
like a stale cinnamon bun.
Okay, that's just mean sounding.
Nah,
I'm not
I'd say
saying
he's a extra icing cinnamon bun. He's too sugary,
Yeah.
and it actually
Yeah.
hurts your teeth.
No, I would
There you
argue
go.
that's
Actually, I
Tanjiro.
like
I
that
would
one
argue
better.
that's Tanjiro.
Yeah, that's probably
That's
Tanjiro, but
Yeah.
regardless.
Sure, I'm gonna leave the chat for a minute and come back in because I can't hear
But yeah,
you.
that
All
is
right,
it. On...
sounds good, boss. I'm going to invite Andy real quick, since he'll be ready to add to our final thoughts. Okay, so yeah, Meliodas.
Mike left.
No, he just. Yeah,
Oh wait, no, you just came back.
hey,
Never
yeah.
mind.
No,
I guess
no,
you
he
couldn't
left
hear
so
him
he
either.
could. Yeah, he left so because he couldn't hear you guys, and vice versa.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He could hear
Oh,
me.
no,
though.
I could
hear Mike.
We could talk, and we were good.
Yeah.
Well, clearly he couldn't because he said that out loud.
What?
That he was leaving and then coming. That Michael said he was leaving.
Oh,
And come
by
back.
the end, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about Andy.
No.
Oh, Andy's not on here.
No, yeah, me. Yeah, I was
Oh,
just
he is
joking.
now.
I literally
as soon
you
as
just-
He is?
Here he comes.
as soon as you said like I can't hear Joe, I'm like, oh, I can hear you. Like you kind of started staticking a little bit. And I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah, I just closed out the party and came back in, and I can hear you like a
Okay.
charm now.
nice, nice.
I need to hear your deep, sultry tones.
Yes.
Oh.
If only it stops blinking so I can hear Andy. There
Is
we
he
go.
in here? I didn't. Oh, there he is.
He's in now.
Hi, Andy.
He's going to do an update, and I still might be a little wonky. It's on a loading screen right now.
Do you know
Oh,
what we're doing right now?
you're loading to the update. Oh, your system shuts down after that's done.
Well, I already did that, but
Oh,
I reset, and it's still kind of being slow and stuff.
Oh, that's fine. So
So
right
do you
now
know
we're
what
doing a dump. We're discussing who is the top 5 greatest shonen anime protagonists of all time.
Zach, I'm disappointed that we're not taking a dump.
I know.
I am.
Trust me,
Oh,
the
I
name
am. My
the
TV's
name
in my
was
bathroom.
Okay, if we were on Discord, this would be a much different conversation. We could at least do that there.
yeah. That's true.
Speak for yourself. I'm on Bluetooth.
So, I guess next presenter was in fact Michael. Do you
Alright,
who's your
I
final
have
one or
one
two
pick.
option? Oh, you have one. Okay.
What was our
'Cause
opinion
I-
on Meliodas? We
Huh?
have a definitive thing.
Oh,
I was gonna say, yeah,
the-
nobody
no
really.
opinion.
Aside from Isaac saying he's a rapist, I mean,
he's
No,
not a
no,
rapist.
not a rapist.
He's not a
Sex
rapist.
offender.
Hold on. He's a
Sex offender,
he's a
sorry, my
molester.
bad, my
Still
bad.
terrible, but not
Molester.
as
That's
terrible.
the same thing.
that
No,
is pretty much the same.
No,
thing.
sex
Yeah.
offender can encompass a rapist, but it's not inherently.
No, they said he's a molester. I didn't hear.
Oh yeah, he's a molester.
No, to molest someone is not necessarily to rape them. It is to physically assault them. in a
Yes,
sexual way.
which he's absolutely done. He's never raped them.
Constantly.
I'll say, I'll say he's a maybe because I like him a lot.
Exactly. A rapist is always
He probably won't make top 5, but I'm gonna put him in the maybes anyway.
I'd say he's probably a top 15 for me.
Captain Planet, pick Captain Planet. Hell yeah, absolutely.
right,
He's
well,
also
you
not.
said-
He's not the main character, so he can't be in it. He's not the protagonist.
Right.
Reptar is the best protagonist, dude.
He's right.
That's true.
Best antagonist.
Okay, it's over.
More
meaning we
like
got it.
best antagonist. He ruins
So before
everyone.
we ask Andy, like after Mike and Tayshawn have gone, before we ask Andy, we should go over who we do have, so we can just.
we'll do that. We should probably just do that when it's his turn then. Then we'll
yeah,
do it quick.
right before he goes. I mean, so
Oh,
he
yeah.
knows who we've already done.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so Michael, who's your one?
Okay, so another probably kind of controversial pick, but this time because the creator has some shit go down. Kenshin.
Kenshin
Really
Homura.
Speaking of sex
Kenshin
offenders,
Homura.
He
Yeah,
is.
I know, right?
He
I'm
isn't
like,
one.
dude,
His creator
I mean,
is.
he kind
I
of
was about to say,
is
dude,
if
the
he's counted by American
entire-
today's standards.
The entire time leading up to this, I was just like, oh god.
Hey, I still
moves a
like
young
Chris
woman.
Benoit, so that's different.
No. More so because of the conversation leading into it. So, just as a, and granted, this is also from when I was like 10. Haven't really seen it since then.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I always just liked him. He was nice. He was one of the probably not the first, but for me the first Atoners protagonists. I felt like he did it really well. He wasn't emoing out constantly and was still living a life and just trying to like, make life better for people as a way to
That first
atone
bit
for his
sound,
past.
that
Huh?
that first bit, how you started that off, sound like a high school girl defending why she started dating a boy she didn't know.
He's nice.
Nice.
He's nice. But
Uh,
Sorry, go ahead.
and yeah, that's kind of all I got.
I will defend your pick in the fact that Kenshin is pretty much just Samurai Vash the Stampede.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that
I think
also
about
is an
that.
argument against it because we actually have Vanish
is,
the Stampede on here.
yeah.
Which,
Yeah, but like Kenshin is still great. Also, Kenshin came out first, so he's technically Vash
True.
is actually a Kenshin, not the other way around.
that's fair. But, and I can't speak for the group, I am speaking for other people I've talked to, myself, and some communities I've seen online. Vash is generally considered the better of the two.
That's
in how he
fair,
presents himself.
but I will say Kenshin's still great, so I'll put him on there
Yeah.
as a maybe.
Of course.
Tayshawn, who is your final one or two picks? Also,
So I have
speak
two
up. You're
picks
still
and
pretty
one
quiet.
honorable mention. Hello, can you hear me?
You're just
I
quiet.
can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. You were just quiet.
Oh, I said so. I have two picks and one honorable mention.
Okay.
My honorable mention is going to be Seiya Ryugen from Overly Cautious Hero.
Okay.
Ooh.
That is an isekai first and foremost. Whether or not it falls under shonen, that is an isekai show.
My second pick is going to definitely be. You brought up Digimon as an example of a shonen earlier.
And that is Isekai. He's
my-
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I also did not actually nominate anyone for Digimon. And I brought that up as a
My-
childhood show that might be considered.
I mean,
Anyway, go-
I think Cautious Hero counts.
Yeah, no, it's. I think that's fine.
It's an honorable mention anyway.
It holds
It's also
none
an
of
honor.
the 10 years
It's
of shonen.
also
It is
an
not a
honorable
growth-oriented show.
mention, so it's fine. He's not even nominated.
So on the same thing that I was going to bring up last time, the man of many names, the one that I was said is sort of in line with the points that Mike brought up for Light. I'm going to go with Satoru Suzuki, aka Momonga, aka Ainz Ul Gon. That is the man. He
That is
a
also
monster.
not shonen.
Isekai.
That is also an isekai. Like, I love
okay.
Ainz Ul Gon. He is a great character.
I'm sorry,
Well,
Tay, but I have
nominate
looked it up.
Tanya and,
I will say that
Kazuma at this point.
the fact that it is an isekai does not exclude it by itself, but it is also a seinen show, not a shonen show. So it is a adult. It's considered an adult story, not boy manga. So I'm sorry,
Okay.
Overlord does not count. Though I will say Lord Momonga is fantastic.
Yeah, let us all establish,
yeah.
though, were this an isekai list, which I would be cool with doing.
He's
He
definitely
probably
number
win,
one.
to be honest.
Yeah, he's number one. Like for me,
Publicity is
absolutely.
name.
Ainz Ul Gon is my all-time favorite isekai character.
Although Seiya is a good runner-up there.
Yeah, he's dope.
Isekai isn't a genre anyway; it's a setting.
Yeah, it is.
Shonen is a genre.
It's a genre.
Shonen's not
It
a
is a
genre,
genre.
either. It's a demographic. They have become genre because they have tropes and story themes that are iconic
Yeah,
to
technically
that
the
specific
battle in sports is actually the genre.
Yeah,
But
although
Overlord,
Isekai-
regardless,
Isaac-
is-
or Tayshaun is pretty much
Yeah.
considered a genre.
But regardless, Overlord is in
fine.
fact an adult one anyway,
No, yeah,
so
I
it
know.
doesn't technically count.
Leonardo Watch.
Oh, interesting.
There we go.
That is
Leonardo
definitely a shonen. Leonardo Watch from Blood Blockade Battlefront.
Ah,
That is the
I haven't heard of this.
next biggest show after Trigun from the same author.
Oh yeah, that
I'll
was
give
the
it a check.
Trigun guy. That's right. I forgot about that.
That's why it's so good. It's a wonderful
Yeah, right.
show. He is one of the only. I think he's actually the only shonen character on this list that doesn't have ridiculous powers in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, he does have ridiculous powers in some way,
It's
shape,
just
or
not
form. He just does not
overpowered
have
in any
fighting
way.
powers.
Yeah, he has no
Yeah,
fighting
you know,
powers.
Battle.
Yeah, we get your point.
Yeah. So I like him as a character. He's
Absolutely, he's great.
Okay. That's what it is.
He's compliment to everyone else in the cast. He really is. He's just a genuinely good dude. And I don't know. I think I just like his
Another
character.
good
I like
old
his character.
cinnamon bun.
Yeah, but he's kind of more of a selfish guy than the others. Because he's just trying to live his life, man.
Yeah, but he also does have his own selfless motivations as well as
Oh,
selfish.
yeah, he's-
In fact,
he's-
you could argue they're more interesting because they're completely intertwined, and it's really hard to see where selfishness or selflessness begins and the other ends. So you could make an argument that his motivations are a lot more interesting. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no, I heard,
It got
we
really
heard you.
quiet.
Oh, no, we heard you.
Just
You
you.
made a good point.
Yeah,
Drop the
good.
mic.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Okay.
Who said my name?
I can't drop my mic, it's expensive. I only have the one.
Well, you didn't say something worthy of dropping the mic.
Exactly,
I broke
so it's
my
okay.
mic.
Break the mic.
Well then, I gotta list him as well. What was his name again? Sorry, I forgot the name.
Leonardo Watch.
Leonardo Hoach.
Watch.
Wait, I thought you watched Blood Blockade Battlefront as well, Zach.
I absolutely did. It's spectacular.
Oh, okay.
And
You
yeah,
just couldn't
Leonardo
remember
Watch
his
is
full name.
great. He's not my favorite character in it, but it's really good. My favorite character by
Wait,
far
who's
was
your favorite character, the monkey?
Huh? The monkey. No, his little pet monkey? No, I always forget it even exists. No, my
It's not
favorite
very
character by a country mile is the captain. It's the chief. He is
He is
fantastic.
exactly the character I would assume would be your favorite character.
He's literally Beast and Charles Xavier rolled into one character. He's
Oh,
fantastic.
me, I fucking.
Beast, if
I need
Beast
this.
was like the head of a Super Sentai group.
Yeah, he's spectacular.
Does he have a "Oh my stars and garters" style catchphrase?
He says stuff like that. He's a very intellectual, but his favorite pastime is chess.
Ooh.
He also quotes the Bible sometimes, doesn't he? If I'm remembering correctly.
I think a couple times, but not. I don't think very actively.
Okay, I want to clarify.
Does
One of the best things about this show is extremely edgy and very self-aware.
Do it,
So it
drop
both
down.
takes that seriously and makes fun of it all the time.
Also, the creator is a huge X-Men fan, and there's just tons of X-Men tropes and references in
Oh,
the series.
I
Like,
fucking need to see
it's
this.
it's very
The show's
much like
great, and
It's
I
a
want
good show.
more.
It's one of my favorite.
it's absolutely
anime. It's
fantastic.
awesome.
Absolutely fantastic.
And that is, I will give you, Tayshawn, a really solid pick I didn't think of.
Absolutely. Great choice. So, Andy, to let you know who we have talked about and put in the maybes thus far is Hinata from Haikyuu, Mob from Mob Psycho 100, Aang from
Good call.
Avatar The Last Airbender, Vash the Stampede from Trigun, Ruby Rose from Ruby, Gintoki Sakata from Gintama, Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho, Gon Freaks from Hunter x Hunter, Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Deku from My Hero Academia, Joseph Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure,
Well,
Leonardo
there's my number one pick. So
Leonardo
Joseph?
Watch from Kekai Sensen, Kenshin Hamura from Rurouni Kenshin, Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star, Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins, Saitama from One Punch Man, and Senku from Dr. Stone.
two of my four that I was thinking of are on there. So Mob and JoJo.
Didn't feel like they would fit.
So,
Then who are your
um,
other two picks then that you can present to us right now?
Well, the order was going to be a little different. Number
The order
Order
doesn't
is
matter.
not relevant at this point.
Yeah,
we're going
we're-
to do the order later. Now you're just naming things.
Right now we're
That's
just
all.
naming
throw
things that
Goofy
will
on there as
qualify.
much of a generic pick as it. And did you say Aang from Avatar?
Yes, because he's great.
That's not Shonen, is it?
Yeah, I mean, by
Okay,
definition,
so we
it kind
defined
of is.
this
I
as
may be
sports or
stoned,
battle
but I'm-
anime. Largely, we argued that this was specifically a list for sports or battle anime that were
I was thinking Shonen
growth-centric.
Jump.
Oh
No,
no,
not
it does
Shonen
not have.
Jump.
It does not have to be shown.
A lot of these characters don't even Shonen Jump.
Yeah. So,
It's just,
Saitama,
is it
Gintoki.
growth-centric
Can I?
battle or sports anime?
Can you what?
And we agreed, yeah, Avatar fits that bill pretty well.
Yep.
In fact,
Well-
better than a lot.
Mugen from Samurai Champloo then. Would
Yeah,
you count him?
that totally qualifies.
yeah.
That's one of my
Absolutely.
favorite characters.
He doesn't count on one thing, which is I don't think he's the main character. I think
He's
Fu
a
is
main
technically the
character.
main character.
Bullshit.
I mean, she is the driving force behind the plot and the point of view character.
Yeah, she is also. Well, I mean, all three of them are actually in the entire show. Though I think
All right, if
she's.
we want to count all three as the main character, then yes, by all means, Mugen.
I would say Jean and Mugen. She doesn't do shit.
I didn't
mean,
think she
she
did
does-
shit, but plenty of main characters don't do anything. Kekai Sensen. That's half the plot.
I didn't
Yeah.
see that show, so it doesn't exist.
I would
That's
recommend
fair.
it. You'd probably really like it.
No, there's no such thing.
Also, watch Senyu. That's the moral of this stream story. Watch Senyu. It's great.
Watch Senyu.
But it's also not making the list. but watch it
No,
anyway.
No, it's not.
But if we want to agree that all three of those are equally the main character, then I would say, yeah, let Mugen count.
I mean, I think they kind of are. It is an ensemble. It is a trios cast. I think Jean and Mugen. I'm really Jean probably the least so, honestly. But Mugen, I'd say, is a very large driving force of the show, as much as Fu
Jean
is.
has a more serious role in the show, and there's
He's more like a foil to the show, where he creates problems by being dense and argumentative.
By being
he's still
better
there,
Spike
makes him
Spiegel.
Put him in a microwave.
There, I said it.
You know what? Fine. Afro Samurai.
that's
He
a
would
great
he
one.
would
I
completely
was
count.
thinking about it.
Bro. Hell yeah.
Is
dude.
that shonen? Even like
Ninja
broadly?
Ninja?
I mean, it's more adult
I mean, I think if
oriented,
you're-
but whatever. I think that one counts.
I mean, I think if you're gonna count Samurai Champloo,
Well, Samurai
Yeah.
Champloo is actually shonen.
is it? I thought it was
That
more
is its
adult.
demographic.
Oh, I always
It
thought
is.
was more of an
It does
adult
have
theme.
adult themes, but it is actually called shonen.
Ah.
I only know this because me and Chris had this discussion earlier about Mugen specifically.
Ah.
Well, then I'm throwing in Jack.
Who?
We're just gonna
Samurai
keep going.
Jack?
We're gonna keep going with
yeah.
Samurai.
Well, Samurai Jack, I would have totally been cool with, but you didn't say it, and you're done. We picked all your options, man. So I'm sorry, Jack,
I'll give
one of the
him one of my
greatest
picks.
anime characters of all. Oh, you're gonna put in Jack? All right, fine. So
Sure.
you picked
Mugen,
Luffy and Jack.
Jonathan Joestar.
Oh, you're also gonna put in Jonathan? Okay.
That was my. Oh, I didn't know if you were ranking these or not. He would have been.
Not
like my
yet.
number
We were
one
just
pick.
including who
We'll
should be.
rank
in
it.
Just sorry.
But
I did
once
that
we
myself.
have a
Joseph
list.
Joestar.
Joseph's already. Yeah. Joseph's already included. So
Yeah, it's not Jonathan. He's fine, but
I like Jonathan as well, but yeah, he's not Joseph.
and Joseph's a little more important to the show.
Overall, yeah.
I mean, Jonathan's body is in 2 seasons.
Yeah. He's got a point. He's got a point. He's got
You
a
could say
point.
that he's detrimental
He
to
is in a picture and a
he's
couple
got
of
an
otherwise.
issue. But fine, I'll put in Luffy as an option because he is literally the most lucrative character on this entire list.
It's a very generic pick, but
he's
I do
great.
like Luffy as
I
a main
will.
character.
I mean, we
I will
also
absolutely
have
defend that
Deku
he's
on
amazing.
here. We have
See,
Deku
generic
on
doesn't
here.
mean bad.
No.
Yeah. We have Deku and we have Kenshiro, one of the OGs.
Yeah, dude.
definitely Ash Ketchum.
Ash, I'll include.
No, fuck that.
He's in there now, thanks to Andy.
What about Goku?
Let it be
I
known.
was joking.
We never once mentioned. We actually haven't even mentioned Goku once. We
I've been waiting to
literally
see who would do
haven't
it.
even brought him up.
I
Well, that's
consider
because
it,
not a
but-
good
The more
prototype.
of Dragon Ball you include, the less he deserves to be on that list.
What are you talking about? GT, he's the only character. It's Goku time.
Goku time.
It's Goku time. That's
Yes.
so.
That doesn't make
Hey,
him good. He literally just sits there and waits for the problem to inflate to the point where he feels it's worth his time.
all right. Well, I'm going to, thanks to Andy, include Ash Ketchum, Goku,
I did
Luffy,
six.
and Mugen from
Piccolo's
Samurai
the main
Champloo.
character, actually, of Dragon Ball, for your information.
He's the best character. He's not the main character. There's a
he is
difference.
the best.
There's a difference, Andy, and we are. You and I both know this.
There
I
is
want a supporting character list.
When we do a supporting best supporting character,
type character.
yeah, best number 2, best co-protagonist.
He's not even the number 2, but
Kaku.
He has been once. He was for one arc.
Yeah.
Can we just say that it is official that they are called co-tagonists?
If
can
we're
title
going
the
that
video
far,
that.
Bruno should be on this list by virtue of being a better main character than the actual main character. Of
Well,
this
yeah,
arc.
that's if we make when we eventually do a dump on best secondary main characters or highest supporting characters, best
Where he will
co-tagonist,
be
as I
number
just called
one because he's literally actually just the
How about
main
you do a
character.
whole best Chris Sabat video?
him. Ooh, that's another really good one.
That would be pretty fun.
Because I want Zolo.
He didn't specify which
All
Goku. All of
Yeah,
them.
Goku Black.
Goku Black.
Black.
Yep, Goku Black. Why he is
Don't
best
shoot,
protagonist.
this man is
It's
not
not black. Don't do it.
There's no way that was not intentional.
No, absolutely not. Because if you look at the Japanese, it's similar, but the wording is specifically different, saying "don't shoot." He's saying "don't fire."
That's not black.
Yeah, that's not black. That's not black. But saying "don't shoot this man" is not black has very different connotations to it. So
Yeah,
our next step is
a little better with that.
so then we got to decide who the top 5 is based on our many recommendations.
I'd say we start with 5th place and move down.
Absolutely. We should also that's our chance to nick some ones. So who says first let's decide who definitely shouldn't be on the top 5. Who we completely either all of us disagree or majority vote says no, absolutely not. Let's start from the bottom. Senku from Dr. Stone.
No.
No, he absolutely deserves to be on this
Nah.
list.
I have no
Top
idea who he
5
is. No.
though.
Absolutely not.
Oh, absolutely.
I hear 2 no's and 1 yes. Andy, as someone who doesn't know
no.
him, he says no.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. What about you, Broseph? You and I are the only other people who watch the show. Ramen Rider also says no.
You can almost exclude me.
Is Joe talking? I can't hear him.
I can't hear
Yeah, me
Broseph at
neither.
all.
either.
Broseph! Broseph!
He's dead.
That's me. I do that. I do that to get someone's attention. Broseph! There he goes.
I had a thing I had to do.
Broseph, yay or nay, should Senku be in the top 5?
We
Not
have 3
arguing of
against,
him
1
be...
for, and 2 undecided,
Yeah,
including you.
including.
Yeah, sure.
He says sure. So, surprising everyone, I also say no. I am a huge fan of Senku, and he's actually one of my favorite personal protagonists, but I'm willing to not ensue a tie and say no, he will not be in the top 5. Though I fucking love Senku, and he
Hey,
actually
you want us
would
to
easily
argue?
be. He actually was on my number. He was my number 5. He was actually on my top
I think he
5.
probably would have been my number 3, but it's hard to say.
It's fair. He's great.
I didn't order mine.
Also, if I count Ramen Rider, we would have lost anyway. If we count the chat, which I think for
Of course you count the
tiebreakers,
chat.
I think for
Always.
tiebreakers we'll count the chat.
have to say?
Tony looks like he left a little bit ago, not too long ago.
Tony!
Tony,
You
come
were my
back!
backup.
I know he was the one who talked us up about Kuroko no Basket. Then next one I got listed, Saitama from The One Punch Man. Should he be in the top 5? Yay or nay? Tayshawn.
Nah.
That's 3 no's, I heard. I didn't hear a 4th. Andy, Broseph.
I haven't seen the show, but I've heard really good things about One Punch Man.
Okay.
He's
The
a great
problem is
character.
you've heard really good things about season 1.
That's,
But On the fact that I don't like his face, no.
Isaac's bandwagon outside it.
It's not
Yeah,
a
just-
bandwagon, it's an objective statement.
Broseph,
What's up?
yay or nay?
Saitama, yeah or no?
Saitama top 5.
We're all just gonna have no's for everything.
No.
We hate anime is the title of this video.
Nah.
Yes.
Then I'm the only yes, so he does not make the top 5. I won't even defend it. Like, he's great. But that's fine.
I liked your I liked what you said on like the whole season 1, but yeah, as far as like season 2 goes, yeah, he's not really there.
Yeah. Next is Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins.
No, you don't get to just be Mineta and be a little prettier and get away with it. No.
That is pretty much who he is.
I'm gonna go no because Isaac
In
said
fact, no, he's worse, because Mineta rarely actually touches a female unless it's, their fist or feet.
Or hitting
Whereas
him in the
Meliodas is
eyeball.
constantly physically assaulting women.
And then they're like, "Oh,
and getting
you."
away with it, because he
Gets slapped sometimes.
Oh, yeah,
Not
he
all the
does.
time,
He's
though.
a cute little boy who's also like 50.
or older.
1,000.
Yeah, we're not sure. But he is a full-grown adult. Not even barely, entirely.
Yes.
He's a whole ass
Yeah.
adult.
Whole ass man.
I'm voting yes only because I brought it up.
That's a fair point. I agree.
Yeah, I can't.
I side with
I
you.
can't
I also
deny
say
it.
yay because for the reason that Brosip brought him up, that is why I say yes.
That's a convincing argument.
That's
What
my
ab-
only
It
argument.
is a good argument.
we already went through the argument phase. This is just yay or nay.
yeah. Tay or Michael? What about you?
I feel like I've never seen it, and I really feel like I don't have a preference here.
No, absolutely not. I have seen it. I'm current in the show. No.
I'm gonna
I
change my
guess I'll
answer
go
yes
no
because
to
they
from what
no.
I've heard.
The problem
Alright.
with that show is there's no good characters.
Absolutely
Except
not.
for
Bon is
Escanor.
spectacular.
Well, on that we agree.
Also, Escanor.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, Bon
except
is
for
Bon is
Escanor.
no. You're full of shit. Bon is the best character.
Bond's a fucking
Bond is a-
pedophile, my guy.
No, he is what?
No,
What are you
he's
talking
a
about?
lollipop.
What?
There's a difference.
Elaine is like ancient. She's literally immortal.
Yeah.
She has the
Fuck.
body of a child.
a child.
Which makes him a lollipop. That's
Yeah,
why
which
he
makes
can
him a
be
lolly. It makes him a lolicon, which makes him weird, but that doesn't make him
Also-
a bad character.
He's also a necrophiliac.
That's fair.
Well, I
'Cause
mean,
well,
he's-
no,
yeah,
that means she is. He's the one who's dead.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about when she comes back to life and he's like fucking
Man,
making out with her and shit.
Bad
Yeah,
spoilers.
but he's dead.
Yeah, but he's dead, so it's fine.
Also, yeah, massive spoilers. Good job, bro.
I wasn't gonna
Uh,
watch it probably anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, but our chat, we got people, man.
True.
all right,
might not have a
so
huge
that is
community, but we
definitely
try to
a
give them
no
some
to
respect.
Meliodas. Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star.
Also, I'm
gonna
not
go
arguing
yes.
about
Oh
Bond.
my
Yeah.
god, they
Bond's
shocked.
incredible.
Yeah,
We
I'll go
already
with yeah.
voted no.
He
still
wants
like-
to talk. He doesn't like Bond because he's a weirdo.
Yeah, but
He's
everyone
also
in that show
a
is
selfish
everyone in that
asshole.
show was either boring or a weirdo.
Yeah, and that's
if I-
great. He's just best weirdo.
No, absolutely not best weirdo. Escanor is best weirdo.
Escanor is just like a normal guy.
Escanor is a weaker character, but your preference on his on-screen performance is like valid because he's
Nah,
just as
Bond's way
entertaining a
better.
character.
He is
Bond is a more interesting character. It doesn't necessarily
It doesn't
mean
matter.
he's more
This is
entertaining in his.
so unimportant. What is
Yes.
important is Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star.
No, that's not
No.
important.
I voted yeah.
To-
I say yeah.
I also
I
say
say
yeah.
no.
No.
He's not even a character from what you guys are saying.
Yeah, he is. I said stuff.
Yeah.
Earlier.
His character is he wants to live his life as a martial
Let me
artist.
try you.
He tried living his life with his
Wait,
girl.
are
Didn't
we
work out.
counting the Team 4-star skit with him
No,
versus Cell?
no,
No.
we're not.
God, no.
Okay, did I still stand?
No, it's amazing. No, it's amazing. But no, that doesn't
Yeah,
count.
that is pretty fucking hilarious. No.
But that's
You
also
could've-
a
you could've
very
won my
accurate
vote if you had
depiction
said
of
yes.
his character, to be honest.
yeah.
Anyway, Michael. No, wait, not Michael.
I said
Andy. Yeah, we said Andy. Yay or nay?
What's the count?
Kenshiro.
Am I a tiebreaker or the fighting factor in any way?
No, it would be a tie decider, and we'd probably have to go to chat.
Yeah.
Let it go to chat. Come on.
Go to no.
Okay.
Thank God.
Ramen Rider.
It's up to Ramen Rider.
You in the chat. Should we include in the top 5? Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. Waiting for him to respond. Yes for North Star. So he will be considered for top 5 contendership. So I put him in a star. I'm just putting a star by the people we decide must make the top 5, or at least like high up
I don't
there.
know why you felt the need to explain that. We can't see your list.
No, I know. I'm saying that is why I'm going to mark them, because then if we have more than top 5, then we can like fucking argue all damn
Shouldn't there
day.
be 7 stars next to him?
I mean, technically, yeah. No, he has the holes in his chest and stomach and abdomen for the 7.
He's
Oh my got a hole in his chest. You don't see him. Fucking
Hooray for anime, Jesus. Kenshin Homura.
No.
yeah.
Also a pedophile. And actually what's the word? Not molder.
I'm actually going to also say yes along with Michael. So that's a 1 no, 2 yes.
No.
I don't know him, so I'm gonna say no.
Andy says no. I still can't hear you, Tay. You're so quiet.
He said no.
I'm gonna say
He
no
said-
because I don't know who he is or anything about him, so I don't want to vote.
You
for
don't
him.
know Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin?
Oh no.
No, you don't? Okay. Oh, you still say no. Okay. You do know who I was saying. I figured you would. It's one of the most famous 90s anime of all time.
Yeah, like
Especially here in the West.
I really actually can't stand him as a main character.
That's fair. I kind of like the secondary character more, but I still like Kenjin. Then
He conditions
that's
an underage girl to marry him later in life.
That's fine.
Big
Broseph,
What do you mean that's fine?
because that's what happens. That's fine. He's made that decision himself.
Grooms, that's the word I'm looking for. He grooms an underage girl.
Oh, that's why my mic volume has been low. Like,
Ah.
I love it.
Broseph,
For best anime pro tag,
yeah, Roni. Oh, does Kenshin Homura make the cut?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, Kenshin Homura does not make the cut. Deku from My Hero Academia. I'm just gonna say absolutely, by the way.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm on the fence, but leaning towards no.
I'll go yes
No.
to equal everything out.
Okay. Alright, that's
Wait,
2.
Raggedy, did you say no?
Yeah, I was gonna say no.
You're saying no? Okay.
I like the show a lot, but I wouldn't put him in the top 5. My
yeah, I'm gonna say no too.
Alright, no
That is the
Deku.
most surprising thing I've heard all day.
I'm not after words. Ramen Rider
I don't really
is
think
not
it's super
happy about
surprising.
it
The only
all.
people that
Is it
argued
really
for him
super
is
surprising?
Zach.
Yeah, because
And you.
the best.
I also
Well,
argued
yeah.
with-
Yeah, no,
Who
the
argued
answer is
for it?
actually Isaac is the one who argued.
The thing is, I really like the show. I'm not knocking the show.
I actually really like Midoriya. I just don't think he's like
Yeah,
Oh,
super
yeah, no.
great.
I would
Yeah, I
rather
like-
have All Might
I'm
as
in
the
the
main
same
character
boat.
personally, but
I think he's good. But like,
Honestly, he's my favorite
top
character in the
5
show.
My big thing is the fact that he hasn't done a whole lot recently is kind of.
He's
I don't
literally
wanna
the
say it
only
hurts,
protagonist. He was the first anime protagonist that I liked over the rest of his cast.
And I felt the same way for a very long time. It was just over time. I'm
And
like,
I still do.
do something.
Joseph
Yes.
Joestar.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm also gonna say no.
Tayshawn, you change your fucking mind right now. Zach, I expect nothing less from you.
Yeah, no, Zach's fine.
Well, we're at 3-2 now.
No, I said no out of spite. You guys got rid of my favorite anime protagonist. I'm saying absolutely not.
Wait, who was that?
It's Deku, you son of a bitch. I just said that. I literally just said that 2 seconds ago.
But Zach, he needed to relish and hear you say it again.
Yeah, of course. I know. That's why it's a no.
I actually heard one of my favorites.
That's
I didn't
why
hear
he's-
favorite. So
Well, it's not his favorite. His favorite didn't make the list. Kirito.
Absolutely, Kirito didn't make the list. Best Shonen protag. He's not right. All right. So that's 4 yeses, 2 nos.
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that the 2 no's were also out of spite.
Mine wasn't out of spite.
Yeah, he just
You guys
said
will
no.
Shut the fuck up.
No,
Well,
he
he
said
said-
absolutely not. That's what
Okay,
he
one was out
said.
of spite and one was just wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Gon Freaks.
Wow.
No.
I also say no.
Nah.
Okay, that's already four.
That's four. That's
I
4
think,
nos.
I think I'm gonna go with no as well, even though I voted for it.
Five. Can we get a unanimous no on this one, Reagan? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like no. Okay.
Right, he's a very
Wow,
good
Gon-
character. I don't think he's very
Gon is
strong
the
at-
only one
See,
who's
I
got the
don't-
unanimous no.
Or yes, or any. He's the only unanimous decision thus far.
I think he is a good argument though for in interest. One more time.
He said he can't wait to. Yeah.
The definitive yes.
Yusuke Urameshi.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think you mean Urameshi Yusuke. No.
I'm
I think
actually.
you mean Urameshi because there's no Y in his last name.
So I'm also gonna say no.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
That's 4 yeses to Yusuke Urameshi. Ramen Rider also says yeah.
Nice.
I think he was very upset about Midori as well. I feel your pain, Ramen Rider. I feel it.
feel like he's a
Gintoki
strong 6.
Sakata.
Absolutely not.
Yes,
Yes.
100% yes.
50% yes.
I have no input on this one, so.
I just like the fact that he
gotta
best
give a yes or
represents
no.
us.
No.
Okay. Andy,
Remind me of the character one more time.
Gintoki Sakata is the
He's
blue-haired
Ricky
main
from
character of
Trailer Park
Gintama.
Boys, but an anime character.
Don't try and like win him over by being like, don't do that bullshit.
I'm susceptible to politics. What's Tayshawn's description?
Tayshawn, let's hear your description of the character you've never seen before.
I have seen it. I remember I told you I watched a couple episodes and I genuinely don't like the show.
Okay, well, then what's your description of Gintoki Sakata?
I don't know. He's just, God. He's just fucking annoying. He's like
a
a Naruto,
great
like a big
person.
Naruto. He's a
He's a
blue.
great
ass,
person.
he's
He
a
spends
blue.
most
He's
of
a
his
blue
day-
Naruto. If Naruto was a more shitty character in person.
I was about
That
to
is
say,
not
weren't you
accurate
just
whatsoever.
arguing with us about, like...
I think he's just saying that because Naruto was a.
I think the
a
best
point on here
way
that was
to
just
actually
bad.
describe him is he is a huge dickhead to everyone, including, actually, especially his friends, but he has a heart of gold, but he's still a creep who doesn't pay or and would prefer to laze around all day and never work a day in his life.
He
And take
doesn't sound like he has a
advantage
heart of gold.
Either, who are also his friends.
He has a heart of gold.
Well, 'cause he does the right
doesn't
thing.
pay
He's just a
people
huge
who work
asshole.
for him.
Yeah, no, he's a huge creep.
And he's a piece of shit. And
I'm gonna change my vote to yes because I
He's
also
a
like
heart
being a
of
dick to
gold,
my
but that's
friends
jaded.
and lazing around.
Okay, then
And
that's
it's
that's
not
four.
actually
That's
like
4
a
yeses.
really
That means Gintoki
yes.
is confirmed.
Good job, Tayshawn. You drugged us out enough for us to get different answers.
Ramen Rider also said, "Oh, with that, then I also say yeah." He said, with him being a huge creep, absolutely, I agree. Monkey D. Luffy.
no.
I'm gonna say yeah. I think he's way better than most people give him credit for.
Yeah,
I think he's a great
for a
character.
good anime protag, I'll go with yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say no, but if
Luffy.
it's a tie, I will say yes.
We're trying to decide who the
I'm-
best shonen protagonist is.
I'm gonna say yes if
That's a
only
main
for
character.
the huge kind of impact that he
I
has.
say yes because I picked him.
Alright, that's
It's
4
good
yeses.
reasoning.
That's
So,
five, including
my
himself.
brother says, yeah, Luffy wins. Why is this an argument?
He is also, very interestingly, not a cinnamon bun. He's one of the more morally gray characters on this list, like Gon.
Yeah, actually true. He literally breaks the law every day.
And although he's cool to people he likes, he is merciless to people he doesn't.
And he's extremely, like, his one set goal is actually pretty selfish.
I mean, yeah.
He just can't wait to be king.
Yeah.
Lion King, man.
So we
One and a
had,
half.
what was that? Was that 4 yeses or was it 3 yeses?
Yeah, it's
It's
4
like
yeses.
5.
That was 5
What
yeses?
what is his goal?
What's not, Luffy's
Be the
goal?
Pirate King.
To find
He
the
wants to
One
be
Piece
the
so he can
Hokage.
become the, so he can be the Hokage pretty much.
Yeah.
So he can become the Pirate King.
Yayo Yayo.
Or
Yeah,
He just wants to be
yeah,
king.
yeah, that's the one. See, you remember.
Oh, that's the yo ho ho. He took a bite of
Gum
right?
that's him.
Yeah.
You got the character. Mob from Mob Psycho 100.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No.
Hey, have you said yes to anything?
Say
You're the
psych
one
right
that
now.
Tate's the one who brought up Mob.
Are you really saying no, Tay?
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying
you said
yeah?
yes.
All right, cool.
he just wants to avoid a unanimous
He
yes.
just wants to be conscious.
Say psych right now.
Goku from Dragon Ball.
No.
Dragon
What's wrong with you?
Yes.
I'm gonna also say yes. I think he's
Oh wait, you said
bastardized
Dragon
by.
Ball.
Well, yeah, as the franchise.
Okay.
This is
Oh,
all.
like
never
the whole
mind, never
thing?
mind. That's a hard no.
Yeah.
If it's the whole thing, it's no.
I say yes because he's. Ramen Rider also says no. No, Goku. That's fine. That's fine. I didn't even pick him, but literally, he has to be brought up. He's literally like the shonen protagonist.
Yeah.
He's the only person who
kinda
died and then was like, no, I'm detrimental to the plot, so I should probably stay dead. And then came back later. And
He
then was
said, but
detrimental to the
OG
plot.
Dragon Ball Goku is a yes. But also,
Everyone feels the same way.
Dragon Ball Goku.
Superman is the like a quintessential superhero, but that doesn't mean he's a good character.
but you'd be wrong to say
he
he
can't
isn't
be.
because he's an incredible. Yeah, depending upon the writer, but he's an incredible character. Hinata from Haikyuu.
I never watched it.
No.
All right, that's fine. No, I didn't expect him. I didn't expect him to make top 5, but he's great. Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Absolutely, yes.
No.
Maybe.
No.
Nah.
Yes.
Isaac,
He
you
does
said
have the
maybe.
detriment of-
Yes or no?
No.
You got, no. Okay.
That's
I
fine.
love.
He has the
I love
detriment of
Aang, but
being-
he's not my favorite. I just don't.
I like
Oh,
Aang,
Ramen Rider
and
also
he-
said
no,
no.
He
Such
has it
characters.
rough. He has it rough because he is a great character who is unfortunately overshadowed by all the other main characters who are also
You know
great.
what? You're right. I'm gonna change mine to it now.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Wait, you said
What?
no.
Anyway, he has to be the argumentative one. He has to always say,
Right.
"No, you're the Simon
I'll call
Cowell.
that
You're
with a
only
yes."
pleased if you're perfect."
Also, Zuko's in the show, and like I know we're not comparing them to a supporting cast, but that's
Toph's my favorite character, but
Why
whatever.
do you look like a
I mean-
burnt hot dog?
Toph
That-
is also
Vash,
Yo,
the
don't forget-
stand.
don't forget-
literally like
Yo,
a
though, don't
class
forget-
on how to write an anti-hero.
Don't
Vash
forget
the
to
Stand.
check
I'd say
out
Top
my
is arguably the best.
Zuko makeup
Agreed.
tutorial
Toph
where
is
we just take a
Toph's
fucking pot
literally
of
my favorite.
boiling water
Yeah.
in your face.
I take it back.
A total Loki tutorial.
Fucking Sokka, my dude. Come
Sokka's
on.
great.
Yeah,
He's the
that's-
best
yeah,
Krillin
that's-
there is.
That's
He's not.
I want to
but-
clarify. This
but-
is kind of my point. Is
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
will have a different answer, but no one will have Aang as the answer.
no.
But we're arguing protagonists, not characters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's not even the second choice.
I feel like there's even protagonists on this list who like Yusuke, who we all love, but I think there's a lot of people who would definitely argue that they enjoy people like Kuwabara more.
Yeah.
You busy? Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
Yu Yu Hakusho is one of
Everybody
the series where I know
spectacular.
more people like the protagonist than the supporting cast. Although there's a lot of Hiei, Kuwabara, Kurama fans.
I'm a
But
huge
that's
Kurama fan.
at its worst, I would
Kuwabara,
argue
my
that it's
dude.
pretty.
I
At
also
its
like
worst, I
Kuwabara
would
a lot.
argue that it's pretty even across the board for Yu Yu Hakusho.
Well, this is out of my extremely scientific pool of like 5 people, so I'm just saying.
Anyway, next is Vash the Stampede.
I got 12 in my pool. Fuck off.
Yeah, sure. I'll go with
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? No.
I'm just gonna like kick you out of the chat.
Yes.
Yes. There's 5 yeses. We had no unanimous because of fucking Tayshawn being difficult. Out of spite.
We just wait for him to vote, and then we vote.
Yeah, then we vote. That's the strat.
Sean,
Right
you
there.
have to vote first from now on.
Okay, that's fine with
Votes,
me.
votes are locked in.
Ruby Rose from Ruby.
No.
Nah.
I'm gonna
Nah.
say yes.
No. I mean, that really just comes down to none of us have seen it.
Also
Yeah, I need to see more in order for me to get a better.
Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. Absolutely
No.
Okay, that was mean. But also probably no.
That one was not out of spite. My answer is just absolutely no.
Yeah.
That is actually
I
my
I'll
absolutely
go with
cannot
yeah,
vote for a
but
character
yeah.
I don't know anything about because I didn't watch the show. And make
Nope.
brash judgments about it despite having never watched
Ramen Rider says I haven't seen it. He said yes to Ruby though, so I got somebody there. Somebody's backing me up. I'll take it.
But also, yeah, no, I didn't expect any of you to, so we'll just go with no.
Nah, that's fine.
Except you, but you should have been there for me.
He even told you personally that how is he not even the best character in his own show?
I mean,
You did.
Which one?
I want to point
Oh,
out
me? Yeah.
Tanjiro is the inciting incident to all the character development of the other characters in the show. So even if he's not the best, he's the reason the others are.
That's fair, but that doesn't
But
make
he's
him
like
a better
still not
character.
the best.
Yeah. Leonardo
Well,
watch.
you guys, you can't judge a main character by the supporting
I
cast.
will
This is
watch
sort-
that
He's
series,
about us
but
arguing
at the moment I have
for the
to
main
say no.
character, not against the
You
side.
still got to pick a
That's
vote,
cool, but
no
he
matter
still
yes or no.
sucks.
Yeah. I say no because I haven't watched it.
Okay,
But,
that's fair.
But I will watch
No,
it
I do
at
like
some
it.
point.
You should. It is good.
I'll watch it when I get to dub.
Wait,
They
I
had
think he's
dub
getting it
before.
now.
Keikai
Go on.
Sensen does have a dub. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought we were still talking about Demon Slayer.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
no,
I'll
no.
also watch
Oh, I
it.
thought it was
Also,
Keikai
Demon
Sensen.
Slayer as well.
Yeah, no, I said
Sensen
Leonardo,
is,
getting it.
Leonardo
Also, Demon
watch.
Slayer
Watch.
does have a
Already.
dub. It just
Yeah,
doesn't seem
Leonardo
to be
Watch
great.
is one of my favorite voice actors. Period. I love his voice.
Oh yeah, it's
and he's one of my
Alphonse.
favorite characters.
OG Alphonse.
I think he's one of the best protagonists ever.
I'll
He is
also
very
say
He
good.
goes,
yes.
no.
Okay, he says no.
I'm gonna say no
I'll
only
take it.
because I have literally no frame reference at all for this character.
That's 3 no's.
For Leonardo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 no's,
I
1
never
yes.
I didn't even know the anime existed
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
it's wonderful.
that's-
You really should check it out.
just now, and I do want to check it out. So it might
Yeah.
change in the future.
What
Yeah,
about,
no, like
what
if we-
about
if
you,
we ever
Isaac and
revisit
Andy?
it.
Oh, Michael, his
I said yes.
voice actor is Alphonse.
Yeah, or OG
Cool.
Alphonse.
Nice.
Andy,
And Senku.
yes or no?
You mean OG Alphonse? Is there 2 Alphonse?
There's 2 Alphonse voice
Yeah.
actors.
Brotherhood
like
voice
Full
actor
Metal
for Alphonse
Alchemist
is different.
GT?
Yeah,
Sort of, yeah. Actually, yeah. It's called Brotherhood.
Wait, no. Brotherhood is a
Yeah,
very good
Brotherhood.
show.
Who?
Well,
Are you sure
that's
it's a different
that's,
Alphonse?
that's debatable.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
The
I'm
key
not.
reason
It's
is
not
just-
even that I'm
I didn't
sure.
say
I
better
know
or
that
worse.
is a fact.
Leonardo
His-
Say better
Watch's
or worse. I said
voice
it's a
actor
good show.
was a child when he voiced Alphonse for
His, yeah,
Brotherhood.
but he's credited. I don't know if he's credited as Alphonse, but he's credited as a
Oh yeah,
part
he is in the
Brotherhood.
show. He just
He
voiced
might
somebody
be in the
else.
show.
I
as a
didn't know.
different character.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
a
I
different
think he's a
character.
different character.
Dr. Marco.
Anyway, yes or no,
I
Andy?
think he's Ling.
I don't remember the character.
That wouldn't surprise
That doesn't
me.
matter. I just need a yes or no.
This is the Trigon guy.
No.
No, this is
Oh.
no.
Blockade.
It's it's same creator. Yeah,
That's what I meant. It's the Blood Blockade one. Okay.
yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna change mine to a yes, so that it goes back to it goes to the comments. This will be my first yes of the night.
Nope, votes are locked in.
You yesed before.
Anyway.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, we did have one unanimous yes until you said last second no as a joke.
No, he waited until the end for that one. But
No, because I remember Zach specifically saying that's 6 yeses.
No, I haven't voted yes a single time. There was one time where I initially voted yes, but it wasn't unanimous. I changed it to no because it was almost a unanimous no.
Yeah. Anyway.
So you're lying?
That's,
Alright, continue.
That is fine. Ramen Rider. Yes or no to Leonardo Watch from Blood Blockade Battlefront? I don't care if you've seen it or not. You just have to say yes or no. Yes, question mark. I'll take it. That's a yes. Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. Andy's number one pick.
No.
That's right.
Absolutely. This is my second yes of the night.
Yes.
I'd say no. Fucking, he's terrible.
I refuse to meme this
Yes.
one, no. Ash is not...
Brosif, what do you choose? Andy's obviously yes.
I already said it as soon as you said the word or the name Ash Ketchum. I said no.
Oh.
I say yes.
Fun fact: his actual name is Ash
So is this a
Ketchum.
tie? Does it?
As soon as those words left
Okay, so then yeah. So it is a unanimous, so that
how
means
about
it
vote
is
for ass ketchup?
it is a tie.
Unanimous yes.
It is a tie. Ramen Rider.
It was a no, so let's clarify that.
No. Yeah, we know.
No.
You're just playing.
Let's
He
watch
said
the-
no
play the video
because he
back.
does
I said
not
no.
age. He said no because he does not
That's
age.
just weird.
He was
So-
affected by nuclear radiation as a
No,
child.
he
That's
had
not
one
fair.
birthday, I think.
Oh yeah, he's had 4 of them. He just hasn't aged a day because in the most recent series he's still called 10, which he was at the beginning of the show.
Interesting choice.
So finally, the last person, Mugen from Samurai Champloo. I am gonna say no for one reason. He's kind of debatably the main character. Though I will say, in my opinion, he's better Spike Spiegel.
I'm gonna say no to. Did we go to? So you said he was the last one?
I feel like you're
he's-
factually incorrect there, but go for it.
What?
He is the last one.
Yeah, he's the last one.
No, no,
Did
no,
we
no,
skip,
no, 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 no.
did we skip Edward
More
Elric?
Spike Spiegel, or better Spike
did we
Spiegel.
not?
Oh, we
I'm
did
sure
skip
we did.
Edward Elric. You're right. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll bring him
Also
up.
Spike
Next.
second.
You're right. We
Also
did
Spike
skip it.
Spiegel. You didn't bring up that one.
Yeah, we never brought up Spike Spiegel. No. When we brought up Mugen, I said that he's better Spike Spiegel. We never talked about
yeah.
And
Spike
he's
Spiegel.
wrong.
Okay.
No, because Spike Spiegel is just worse Mugen. Have you watched the show?
Apparently a little closer than you.
Anyway, so
Doesn't sound like it's me.
yeah, it doesn't sound like either. So let's say, yes or no to Mugen.
No.
No.
That's 3 no's.
Yes.
No.
Oh,
for-
yes.
All right, that's 4 to 4 to 2.
Good character, yes. Good protagonist, I mean, depending on how you angle it. Top 5.
Wait, what's your reason for saying no, Isaac?
I mean,
He
I
doesn't
don't
have to
think he's a
give
big
it,
character.
but he did just explain it that he thinks he's a good character. He thinks he's a great character. He's just not a good protagonist.
Even if
You
I
know,
did
that is
consider
a good
the
point. I'm actually going to
protagonist
change my vote to a yes.
Okay, well it's a
Damn.
All
tie.
votes are locked.
Okay, I mean, all right, Ramen Rider, Mugen, Samurai Champloo, yes or no? Again, I don't care if you've seen it. I don't care your opinion on it. Yes or no?
I'm sort of surprised if you had.
We actually did skip someone else.
Did we? Who's the other one?
We skipped Edward and Jack.
Oh, we
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
skip
yeah.
Jack.
No one nominated Jack.
Yeah, no one
No,
nominated.
Raggedy
him.
nominated Jack.
Oh, that's
No,
right. He
was
did.
gonna nominate, and then Raggedy was like, I nominated as one of mine.
today.
Yeah.
He's right. He's right. He's telling me. He is right about that. I forgot. That was on my bed.
Finley, can I get polymer in the desert?
Yes, you can.
Oh, we also, I guess, have to talk about Light, but I don't think he.
He said yes just for Tay.
No, thanks.
Ramen Rider, you have.
Oh. Andy, or Mike, you said that the game was on sale.
Yes, it's $15.
It is. It's
I picked it up.
$15 right now.
It is downloading as we speak.
I think I should buy it for
Arc.
sale.
Oh,
That
nice.
is why I
All
brought
the
it up.
DLCs are on sale too, by the way.
That's up to you. That's up to you to grab.
We're
Although
currently
I
on
will-
Ragnarok, which is a
How
base
on
game.
sale are the DLCs?
Yeah,
Like
I'm gonna take a
$6
look.
piece. 7.
I'm gonna take a look and see if
I
Genesis
want
is
to see
on
the
sale.
cool one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's a good point. Genesis. Fuck.
Fuck.
Alright. So Jack
That
from
might bring me
Samurai
back.
Jack.
I don't know if it'll keep us
We're gonna all
here.
start
but-
off with separate tribes, and we're gonna
I
start a
also
war.
say yes.
I say yes.
1 week
Edward
timer.
Elric?
Jack? Hell
No,
yeah,
no,
dude.
Jack
Oh,
from
Jack.
Samurai Jack.
Jack.
You know
yeah.
Jack.
Back to
Yeah,
the
I don't really have an
Palace.
opinion, but I'll go with sure.
Alright, that's good enough for me.
I think it's the
makes
first time I've heard that from you, Isaac.
I don't have an opinion.
Finally,
Yeah.
I don't
Edward
have an opinion.
Elric.
Yes.
Well, 'cause my
Saving
opinion
A.
on Jack is he's a cool character
Hell yeah.
and a good main character, but I don't remember the series enough to really formulate an argument.
I need to rewatch the end
The
of it.
second part of it looked really cool.
I missed
It is.
who we're on. Who are we on now?
Edward Elric, the final.
Oh,
one.
hell yeah.
You get
Yes.
Yeah.
That's 3 yeses, 1,
4.
2.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Joe?
Yeah.
Alright.
Genesis is not on sale.
Sad day, my dude.
Okay.
$34.99.
So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Whatever,
6,
whenever it
7,
goes on
8.
sale, I'm gonna get it.
We have 9
Maybe,
top
yeah.
fives. 9 for the top 5.
Let's just start with 9 then.
Alright.
Sounds like we got a top 10, we just need to add one more in.
I guess that's fair.
Honorable mentions: Joe Exotic.
Yes. Corey now.
I still haven't watched that. Kyle Massey or Corey.
I'm sorry.
Those
gonna
two
go-
very
We're gonna go off
different-
topic here. King of the Hill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
King from King of the Hill.
Yeah. King of the
Yeah,
Hill.
Ladybird.
King, the
Ladybird, main
titular character from yeah, Ladybird from King of
No,
the Hill.
John Redcorn.
Oh my god. That's not.
What
I think it might be easier to then
you.
start from the top. In this context, it might be easier to start from 1 and move down.
Your bird.
Okay. Then I guess
do you
amongst
guys
these
think?
amongst these 9, who is the best choice?
Oh.
Lee.
Andy, I don't think you fed your pterodon.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yeah,
7,
there's-
8.
I was going over your base, and yeah, there's just a dead
I
bird
miscounted.
there.
We actually do have a 10.
Oh,
Why don't
actually,
we
no,
just
it was
organize it in the
correct.
top 10
Yeah.
instead?
That might be easier.
That
'cause I feel
works.
All right. Well,
That's what I'm saying. We should just.
well
I just
then-
feel like it would be easier to start from 1 than to start from 10.
All right. Then who is the unanimously best protagonist? Is it Edward Elric, Kenshiro, Joseph Joestar, Yusuke Urameshi, Gintoki Sakata, Luffy, Mob, Jack, Leonardo Watch, or Vash the Stampede?
I
should leave that up to
we
people
let
in the comments.
Yeah, we let the voters out there know. So, Robin Ryder, you got a lot of shit to write down.
Don't we have a Twitter?
We do have a Twitter. Though we have like 4 people who follow
Alright.
it, so I can't imagine we'll get a lot of votes.
Oh god, it could be
All
a
right,
tie.
Robin Ryder, you're gonna have a little more work to do. You gotta jump over to Twitter real quick.
Make a bunch of
Make a
accounts.
Twitter account.
Make several.
4 Twitter
Make
accounts.
several.
No, make 5 Twitter accounts so it's uneven.
Yeah, fucking unbalance it. And even give yourself counter arguments.
Yeah, argue with yourself. Isaac showed you how.
Yeah,
Uh,
rewind
So-
the video, and there's your tutorial.
You can make Llama Lynn Ryder.
You guys
So-
made
so-
me do
wait,
that.
so-
I'm not happy about that.
well, you know what? I'm not happy he didn't make the cut, so take that.
I
So
mean, you should have argued for him then. You could
I
argue
did.
better.
I already did. I did argue
How
for
many
him.
people are in this chat? How many people are here
1.
right now? 5?
6.
How many people
in
are?
chat.
In the 5 of us. Yeah. No, 6 of us. What am I talking about?
No. Did he mean in the chat or us specifically talking?
In the chat specifically.
Oh, one. Right now. There was two earlier.
Oh, well, I meant the group chat. I meant us.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
see, that's what we were trying to clarify. Then, yeah, 6.
Then never mind. I was going to say, to pick a top 5, everyone gets one vote amongst this, but there's 6 people. We can still do that.
Well,
and then
Ramen
leave
Rider
that
gets a
to-
vote too.
So 7, so
So, like,
that
what? So,
complicates it more.
yeah.
Never mind.
All right, I got an idea.
Okay.
Why don't
We have a
we
giant
all
fight
take
to
turns?
decide who-
You list off a character, and
Mhm.
we will all give a rating, 1 out of 10, or yeah, 1 to 10.
We'll just say 1 to 5. We'll make it easier.
All right, 1 to 5, that's fine. 10's a little easier to average. Then you add it together,
Yeah, I
and
guess 10's
whoever
right.
has the best score, and then we tie break accordingly.
10B. What is the comment section saying?
Nothing right now.
He doesn't want to do it.
Answer us.
He doesn't
I
want to
do
do
like
it.
Isaac's idea though of just us.
Yeah, it's fine.
Meeting
We just kind of score.
We can, yeah.
So
fast.
yeah, we'll go through one at a time. So we'll just go down the list. Zach names something, gives his rating, and we move down the list. And then Zach organizes it and then counts it down 10 to 1.
All right. Edward Elric.
9.
9.
8.
8.
And if you haven't seen the show, I feel like it's
9.
only fair to say
9.
automatic 5.
4
Wait, are we going out of 5 or 10 right now?
out of 10.
Okay, we are out of 10. Okay.
Is 10 high or low?
High.
10 is high.
Yeah, 10. What?
What? Broso got upset with me. What the fuck are you talking about? What?
Why? Do you
Why?
not know numbers work? Numbers, man. What?
What?
So Tay, yeah.
Well, yeah, man, I didn't know we were doing golf scores. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Dude, just do that one time, man, and this will be great.
All right. So what is it?
For who?
Edward Elric.
Edward Elric.
9.
Also 9. Okay.
Actually, 8.
What did Andy and Joe say?
Joe
I
said
9.
yeah. Yep.
I didn't hear everyone talk at the same time.
Kenshiro.
8, by the way.
5.
I'm gonna go
Oh,
with
I
10
said
because I
8
watched
for the
I think
the
that's
shit
six.
out
Actually,
of that.
1.
You said 10?
7.
1? I'm gonna say 9.
5, since I
Most
haven't really
polar
seen it.
7.
Oh yeah, you said 8. Okay, so you want to switch to 5? Okay.
Well, I was saying 8 for the previous one because Isaac was asking.
Is anyone hearing me?
Oh.
Andy?
Yeah,
I
I
can hear
hear.
you.
you.
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Oh.
8 for Ed. What do
Joseph
you got
Joe
for
Star.
Kenshiro? Oh, 5.
No, he already
said
said
five.
it. I got everything.
10.
10.
I did not know you loved Kenshiro that much.
I said
I
Joseph
watched,
Joe.
again, I watched the shit out of it when fucking a few years ago.
That's fair.
Man, see? Somebody gets it.
That's why,
I'm not arguing
that's
with
why
you.
my
Great.
opinion of Fist of the North Star 2 was very strong.
Yeah,
which
very
is-
extreme. Yeah.
Compliment.
Joseph
I
Joe
knew
Star.
everything
I'm
I
gonna
needed
say
to know
8.
about how much I love him as a character when I watched him in the movie.
Sky
Sit
Super
up-
Collapsing.
Yeah, walk
No,
through
but
an
just the way
actual
he, like-
collapsing skyscraper. That was pretty cool.
Not only that, but just when he was like asleep and then just wakes directly into a ramrod position.
Yeah, Joseph Joestar.
10.
Ooh,
Also
I'm gonna
gonna
give
go
him an
10.
8.
I'm gonna go with a 10.
Actually,
10.
9.
9.
Which Joseph?
10 out of
There-
10.
there's
would
only
wanna try
one.
squatting
Joseph
and
as
squitting.
a whole.
No, there's part 2 and part 3.
Nope, same character.
Part 4 too.
Yeah,
We
the
said
main
character.
character, part 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he also has to be the
Lead
main
protag,
character. So
part
yeah,
two.
protagonist. So yeah, part 2.
Oh, as a character, I'm gonna give him a 7, but because of his English voice actor, I'm gonna bump that up to a 10.
Agreed. Couldn't agree
I
more.
didn't hear that one.
I feel like you don't want to agree with me, so are finding a way for me to not agree with you while agreeing with you at the same time.
I'm gonna change mine to a 10 too.
Kudos?
I can't.
Yeah.
All right, 9 to
Yeah.
10. Okay.
Hard to keep that
I love
one
him too
out.
I
much.
gave him an 8. Whatever. Whatever, get out
I
of
think
here.
it's cool, but not that cool.
It's okay, man. You can have second thoughts at any point.
Yusuke Urameshi. I mean, Deku's like a
8.
12, so that's fair.
Yeah,
8.
yeah, that's fair.
8.
I'll give him 8. Yeah.
I misheard somebody. Did everyone repeat their
10.
scores? 10.
8.
8.
Okay.
7.
7. Isaac.
I said 8.
8. Let's say 6. Gintoki Sakata.
7.
I'll give him a 9.
I'll give him a 5. 'Cause I have no
I'm gonna give him also
way
a 9.
either way.
5.
I
1.
really
I'm gonna give him a
loved
1.
his
I
his
heard you.
finishing move in Jump Stars.
That is a cool one. It's literally
Oh,
there's
geez,
literally a descriptive narration behind his attacks.
Yeah.
It's the end. It's
That
the
is-
ending. It's the ending.
It provides the credits.
Yeah, it's the credits to the
I'm
game.
totally
Oh yeah, I forgot his special attack where he just beats the shit out of you aimlessly, and
Yeah.
the credits start playing over it.
Yeah. Andy, what's your pick?
I'm sorry, who was it again?
Gintoki Sakata.
He's the
5,
guy who
since I
threw
haven't seen the
dynamite in
show.
J Stars.
5. Yeah, he
And
also
wrote a
throws
moped.
dynamite. And fires
Yeah,
Kamehamehas.
Occasionally.
Up to a 6.
A
Occasionally.
lot of time.
He's,
A lot
he's,
of times he just doesn't.
he's also my main character in that game, by the way.
Oh, and his
Before I
charging
knew about
sequence
him.
is just ripping off Saint Seiya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but he quotes it
He's doing Saint Seiya's
incorrectly.
charge.
He quotes it incorrectly, which is great. Monkey D. Luffy.
7.
Give it a 7.
9.
10.
7. 10.
9.
9.
Uh,
Let's say.
we can't count
7.
James because it would throw this whole thing off, but he says 10 for Urameshi. Urameshi.
Yeah, I'd include. I'll have to. I'm glad you like
Luffy
Urameshi
was
so much.
two.
That's pretty much my extent to that. I'm glad you like him so much. Mob from Mob Psycho 100.
He is a
Kageyama.
10.
10.
Give me a 9.
9. I'm also gonna go 10.
I really liked season 2.
Also did. Agreed. Andy Tayshawn.
10.
8.
8. Okay. Jack.
That's a 10.
8.
8. Let's
No,
say.
7.
I'm also gonna say 8. Oh, 7. Okay. I'm still gonna
6?
say 8. 6.
Also gonna go 6.
6.
His writer has the easiest, or his voice actor has the easiest job in the world.
Dock another point. No, I'm playing.
But he does do the Jamaican guy in
Who's that?
Futurama.
Leave. Tayshawn.
Yeah?
Tayshawn,
Well,
you didn't give your score.
in
So
in
am I.
Samurai Jack.
Tayshawn, you didn't give your score.
For who?
Jack.
Jack.
Oh, 10, dude. Come on. Please.
Samurai Jack.
Also, I met Phil Lamar. He's a super nice guy. Also very funny.
Oh, 11 then.
No, I got to keep it at 10. I'm sorry.
10
I
with the
would.
Phantom 1.
Come on.
I'll give him a
A good voice
theoretical
actor
point.
gives an extra point.
He does have a great voice actor.
He
It's
has a
not wrong.
metaphorical extra point.
That's why Goku
Yeah.
would get a minus 10.
Yeah,
Get
Goku
out of
did
here
minus
with this.
10.
Sean Schmall is fine. Leonardo Watch.
5.
5.
That's
10.
That's that honest vote right there. I can't say no to that.
I won't
5.
go higher than a 6 if I don't have anything more than a good impression of the character.
Yeah.
But
I see
yeah,
Beck
Leo's a
is
solid
perfectly in the
8.
middle.
Okay, hold on. Isaac, what did you say?
8.
Broseph, what did you say?
5.
Okay. Andy?
Everyone else went 5.
5.
And except for me, I went 10.
I'm also gonna go 8. And finally, Vash the Stampede.
10.
Ooh, solid 8.
I'm
8.
also
9.
7.
A platinum 10.
10. Yeah, so yeah, for me that's like a shining golden 10. He's the crimson
I like how
medal
you
of
guys
approval.
voted him higher than me, and I suggested him.
I told you he's literally my favorite character
Oh, yeah, I said
in
no to him.
anime. Yeah, I know, Tayshawn. Get the fuck out of here. I'm aware.
Yeah, that's just fucking great. He's one of my favorite characters in anime. I give him a shining golden 10.
Damn. Ramen Rider also said Luffy is a 2. Cold.
Yeah, I caught that.
Fucking cold.
I already said that.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that. Alright.
Yeah, Buffy's a T.
Well then, let's punch our numbers in here real quick. Find out my thick.
Well, we know who 1 and 2 are.
Yeah. Ash Ketchum and
Yoshimitsu.
Goku.
And Yoshimitsu, of course.
Lever's got to be up there. Top
He was the best main character in Tekken.
Who would y'all? You know what? Especially in the chat, who would y'all say is the best? Is the actual main character of Soul Calibur? Just to kind of get.
Soul.
The Soul Edge.
Depends on what.
No,
game I
Soul
get.
from Soul Eater.
Soul Eater, gotcha.
Legit, I thought that's what he was asking about for a minute.
I actually had Maka and Soul as a
You know what?
option on mine.
I thought about putting
I like
Maka
them
in
a
if
lot.
only to have some girl power.
Maka
Hey, I
would
also
have been
like
a
her,
good
though.
suggestion.
I
but
brought
don't
up-
think it's top 5.
I brought up Ruby. I was the only one who brought a female character to the bunch.
Whoops.
I was the only
No,
one.
I had a recommend. I had an honorable mention.
Oh yeah, who's that?
Emma from The Promised Neverland.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
did bring up.
he did mention
And my
you did
only
mention
argument
that. Oh, I
against her
didn't
is
hear that.
I haven't seen enough of the show.
it. Yeah. I actually listed Medaka from Medaka Box as well.
I've never seen that show.
I mean, I'd go with
need to
Ria's
check it out.
Gremory.
Who?
Well, we all would go with these girl characters now. It's pointed out our whole thing's a sausage fest.
I literally said when we started, I'm sorry, Shonen is a genre that doesn't like women, so it's only female
Oh no,
characters.
I'm not
he-
arguing against that. I'm arguing against all these people who are all like, "Well, I would have brought a girl had I realized we didn't
I
have any
didn't-
girls really."
I didn't say I would have. I did. That's the difference.
Well, Ria's, I don't know if she counts as the main character is the problem. That's why I didn't bring her up.
Reyes.
Yeah,
What?
don't worry about that. Just know.
From Bible Black.
Oh. From Bible Black,
Oh
gotcha.
my god.
Not from that. It's Christ.
Wait a minute.
It showed and it was oriented towards teenage men.
You're right. You're not wrong. Wow.
Burl, that's who primarily watched it.
Fucking wow.
Sorry, I didn't know I had to go to the decimal point, but I do. Because we got so many
That's
similar
weird.
scores based on the how well these numbers divide into 6.
Oh.
Because they're averaged, so.
I mean, to be fair, you don't have to divide them. If you just add them up, that gives you the score.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're all a 10.
Yeah, why did you divide them?
Yeah, you didn't really have to.
Yeah,
do that.
you would only need to average it if there were more votes than there
Well,
more or
I
less
already
votes on
kept
individual.
averaging them because I was told to do that, and then I forgot that you're
Why?
right.
Who told you to do that?
I said averaging
Isaac.
at first, and then I said you could just count them. Actually,
He's right, and then I've been averaging them, so I'd have to go back and recalculate them if I did that. So I'm not
Yeah,
gonna,
just
I'm not gonna-
recalculate them.
No,
Well, then it's going to be incorrect.
that's not true.
Yes, it is, because if you average them, they're going to be different numbers.
I mean, no. If they're averaged with the same number of
No.
people, then the higher score
Yeah,
should be
it'll-
the highest still.
It's still
No.
gonna be-
If we're not going
no!
to the decimal.
Mike, you're the guy who took college math classes.
You're the one who did the fancy book learning. Explain.
Just do it consistently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
like
I'm gonna
I
do.
said, consistently.
If you apply the same
So,
averaging process,
Average
to
3
each
of them, add 2 of them, and then multiply
don't-
the last one.
Don't.
I'm not going to do that because I'm not stupid. I also took several math courses, and yes, I did also take math courses in college.
Well,
I've heard good things about 76
appeasing
recently.
to Mike to clarify, not judging your math skills.
He was sucking Mike's dick for a second. Let him suck Mike's dick if he wants to.
Yeah,
I know.
I
I'm
already
sorry.
have a man for that, Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac, you a homewrecker. Who do you think you are, me? Come on.
No, I'm better. You better.
You better.
Good
That's
thing
what
you
we
had
do.
me go
These
back and
men
check
people
those.
bug me.
Good thing you.
Nothing personal,
Good thing
kid.
you had me go back and check those because one of those scores is going to be drastically wrong. So good call.
Oh.
I mean, all it is add them together and then divide by 6.
I know that's what I did, but one of them I apparently wrote the wrong number down. Like I did the math right, but then wrote it incorrectly. So, the definitive top. Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
Start
Yeah,
at
go.
10, man.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
go
put them
10
in.
up.
Yep. Is number 10.
7, 6, 5,
Are you gonna?
4,
Are you
3.
gonna? Okay. I'll wait till he's done.
Rangers.
In space.
Wait, if you get all the way down, you can't. You gotta sing the song. You know that.
No, stop. I will. I can't. I got other stuff to do, and this took longer than it was supposed to. I'm really
Plus,
busy.
yeah, bitch got a bedtime.
No. The closed beta started, and I need to still play that. I still have to stream that. I'm busy. This took way longer than I expected, but that's okay. It was fun.
It's because more people kept showing up and providing more content for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I love it. Got to have more of these. So,
Yeah, we do
starting
more.
off, number 10, Gintoki
10.
Sakata.
Oof.
He's amazing, but unfortunately got a even 6 on our scale. And
Too many people hadn't seen it and gave him a 5.
this is actually no. What killed
And
him
my
was
one helped
Tayshaun gave him a 1. That's what actually killed him.
Oh yeah, because Tayshaun's a piece of shit.
Number
Throwing
9.
off scores by being petty.
Also, number 9, which also was screwed over by Tayshaun because he gave him a 1, is Kenshiro, who only got a 6.1 because he literally got a 10 and a 9, but still dropped off because he got a 1.
Good job, okay.
Hey,
Number
Fucking
8.
spiteful ass
Hey,
motherfucker.
hey, Tayshaun, guess what's number 8? Leonardo Watch.
Hey, it's above Kenshiro. That's all I care about.
Yeah, but he would have been anyway if he had been fair.
And then
No, he
number
wouldn't. He would have
7
been number.
is a tie because they had the exact same scores. It is Jack from Samurai Jack and Edward Elric for the 6th and 7th spot, respectively.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You fucked him over there and gave him a 4.
Yeah, I did that because fuck Edward Elric. Get him out of here. He doesn't belong on this list.
Interesting, complex character.
You said
4.
interesting. That's inaccurate. Number 5.
Oh, I'm
Yusuke
sorry.
Urameshi.
Is reviving the dead not interesting enough for you in meeting God?
But
No,
you gotta
no,
deduct.
he didn't meet
hey,
God. He
was
met
that-
a
did you
weird ghost man
remember
who he sold a door to.
That was
He also-
God.
That
That's-
man did say he was God.
Yeah, he said it.
Did you remember
But I just
to
explained the
deduct,
plot, and it's not wrong, and that's why it's funny. And that's why Andy's laughing because he knows I'm right.
Yeah, but if you explain
Stop
anything
booing
like that,
Stop
Dragon Ball
booing
Z
me.
story of a guy
You know I'm right.
Dragon Ball Z is the
Zach,
story of a guy and his
Yeah,
friends who
yeah,
just
what's up,
keep
boss?
dying.
But you have to deduct like 6 points off
Yeah.
of Yusuke's score, like simp points.
Oh God, I forgot. So Yusuke drops to 11th. That was your job, Michael. You didn't give him deduction for simp points. So Yusuke Urameshi is 5.
Very
Oh
fair.
yeah, he is. Yeah, he's 5. Number 4 is Monkey D. Luffy, which that one really surprised me that he got so high.
Yeah, that's higher than I thought. But I think it's because no one actually really disliked him.
Yeah.
And Luffy's a good character, man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Number 3 is Vash the Stampede, which totally
Really?
fair.
I was
He's
hoping
amazing.
he'd still a number 1 spot. Wait,
Oh,
how
we know
fucking
who
high did
number one
Mugen
and
get?
number two.
He didn't make the top
Mugen
10.
didn't make it. Yeah.
He dropped
That's not
off
how I
thanks to
remember
thanks to Jack from Samurai Jack getting included, pretty much. Number 2 is Mob from Mob Psycho 100,
Really?
and number 1 is Joseph Joestar.
I actually thought Mob had him beat.
Fuck! I knew I should have given Joe.
Mob had
a
4
lower score.
10s, a 9, and an 8. Joseph Joestar had 5 10s and an 8.
Oh, shit.
I gave him an 8. The rest of you gave him 10. That's why he's
I
number
should have
1.
given him a 7.
Also,
I mean, he is
you
a
said by
primo
1
example
point.
of
They're actually
carrying a
literally
show.
0.1. There's a 0.1 difference to the
Actually,
scores.
Zach,
If
I
had
gave
kept
Joseph
my
Joestar
9,
a 7,
No, you didn't.
but he boasted it up to a 10 because of the voice actor in English.
Oh, you're right. But that still counted. So he still made it. But you're right.
I mean, that's
I
on
forgot.
you, buddy.
You gave a good explanation for why you voted for him that way. So I guess that's it, guys. It took us 3.5 hours to come up with the top 10 shonen protagonists. We did say we would talk about it and argue for a long time, and we did. And the real...
Even 20 minutes of that was arguing with yourself.
Five.
The moral
I
of
just
the
love this 'cause
it
we
actually
managed to,
was
like,
20 minutes. I was
break
counting.
Isaac
The
for a
moral
second.
of the story is 2 things. 1, this is all horseshit, and Deku's actually number 1. And number 2 is, of
Jesus
course, that our list is the definitive top 10 shonen protagonists. Everyone else is wrong. The Garbage Gang
Except
clearly
for
know it's
Watchmojo.
right. Except for Ranker. Except for Ranker. Ranker knows what they're talking about.
Ranker and Watch Mojo.
Yeah.
That's
So
agreed.
no,
We can't compete. We can't compete with.
and the
true-
most important takeaway from this, if you could take anything away from this stream, there's one thing: watch Senyu. So with that, guys,
watch Senyu.
don't forget to watch Senyu. Stay lucky, and we'll see you at the next one.
See ya. Goodness.
Bye.
Yeah, take
Bye
off,
now.
fuck off.
Bye.
If you have to-
Bye.
You try arguing 2 characters.
You didn't have to.
I
You
was
didn't
gonna
have
say,
to argue.
I just told Sarah that you did that, and she's like, "That's fucking awesome." Like,
I was gonna have my argument. That was the whole reason I said.
Yeah, he's. All right. Well, that'll close the stream then. See you guys. Boop.